Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the first semi-final of the Rugby League World Cup. It is a trans-Tasman battle taking place between Australia and New Zealand. Now, this game, Australia are pitched in as the favourites, but the Kiwis, who knows what could happen in this game. That is why it's going to be so exciting. But Australia, definitely one of the informed teams of this Rugby League World Cup. Josh Addo-Carr is on an absolute try-scoring machine run, really, for him. But we will have to wait and see exactly how he does end up going. But they are just showing the Kangaroos side. Tedesco, the captain, he will be definitely looking forward to getting out there up against the Kiwis. It's kind of like a rematch of the Anzac Day test that we do see. But this is the starting lineup that they've gone with. Like I mentioned, Tedesco at the back, Valentine Holmes out on one wing, and Josh Addo-Carr, the Fox, who is scoring tries for fun at the moment. He will be out there on the other wing. Latrell Mitchell and Whiten will be making up the midfield with Munster and Cleary as the 7 and 14 combo. Isaiah Yeo, Crichton, Martin, Jake Travojevic, also Ben Hunt, and Tino Fa'asuamaleaui. That is the last man in the starting lineup for the Australians. Looking through at the New Zealand lineup, though, this side know that they're coming in as underdogs. They've already got their plane tickets booked for the day after the semi-final. They'll have to cancel them if they make it further in the competition. But one moment, we will go to this. As you guys know, anytime there's a morning game and the sun's out, I always get my hay fever, which is absolutely tremendous for live stream. But see how we go. And Fisher Harris at the front with Smith and Bromwich. Then Asafa Mona, a dangerous man when he does get some steam going. And I think his job here is to really try and rattle some of the Aussies, which is going to be tough to do. But if he can put in some big hits, maybe, just maybe, New Zealand get themselves a bit of momentum. Then Kenny Bromwich there at number 12. Tapini, the last man in the four-pack. Jerome Hughes and Brown will be linking up as the halves, I should say, for this matchup. Nicole Clockstead in the midfield with Pete Hiku, then also Rapana Mulitalo, and then Joseph Manu slotting in at number 1 for this game. Looking through a few of the interchange players we have got there in the chat about coding, said about the Black Cats for the semi-final. Yeah, they did end up losing Pakistan, unfortunately, for them, but I think Pakistan versus England, that's certainly going to be an awesome final for the T20 World Cup. Good morning, Kiwi Lads, and morning world, says Day. Relaxing Kiwi has said, yep. And also we have got there, Brian has said, I fancy the Kiwis to just sneak this, then lose to England in the final. Alrighty, so you're back in the English over the Samoans for that next game. We are actually going to be covering that one on the channel as well, ladies and gentlemen. Will be taking place tomorrow night at 3:30 a.m. Yeah, I think Oz will do this easy, says Relaxing Kiwi, and good morning, Kiwi Lads. How are you? Who are the Black Cats playing next? Because they lost, I don't know whether or not they have a third-place playoff, but if they do, they will be playing India for the Cricket World Cup. But I'm not too sure whether or not they do have that. I would assume that they would, though, for a Cricket World Cup kind of playoff bronze medal type style thing. These are the games that we've seen from New Zealand at this point in time up till this stage, I should say. Their quarterfinal, a close one up against Fiji, 24 points to 18, not quite as convincing as a lot of people wanted to see from New Zealand, which is why this game is such a hard one to predict, because New Zealand are either going to come out firing, play their best rugby of this World Cup, or we're going to see them maybe slightly falter a little bit, depending on what is happening with this Australian side, because if they're on the form that they've had already, New Zealand are going to have a tough day at the office. And also we have got there in the chat, hello, let's start a long weekend of rugby as the best. All Blacks to win by 20, says Richard there for the game up against Scotland. And good morning from Australian and Malta, says Pauline. What time is it in Malta? Do let me know, Pauline. Must be a nice late night for this game, maybe around 8:30 p.m. And let's go Australia support from, it was CH, which I believe comes through as Switzerland, doesn't it? For some reason, only has CH there, though. And bless you, hope you're doing okay there. You rock out world. I feel Aussies can tip this one. Yeah, they come in as the slight favourites. New Zealand, $4 underdogs for this contest. You can kind of understand why, definitely, because when you look at some of these scores, I mean, the same side that New Zealand only narrowly were able to get past Australia won 42 points to 8 up against also a great game up against the Italians, 44 points to 6. And then in the quarterfinal, 48 points to 4. And Addo-Carr was running rampage in that contest, and that is exactly what he'll want to do for this game. But anytime there's a trans-Tasman game of rugby league, sometimes it just makes the Kiwis go to that next level, and that's what they're going to have to find here if they do want a chance. I see that the game is supposed to be kicking off at 8:30, but the players are still running around out on the field, so I feel like we're probably going to have another 10 or so minutes before this game does actually get underway. But England-Samoa, that will be the game tomorrow night. Going to be an entertaining one, and we will also be covering it on the channel. But I've shown you guys the results of both of these sides. This is how it sits on the table throughout the group stage. So as you can see, both 3 from 3, both undefeated up till this point of the Rugby League World Cup. The points differential, a little bit higher for the Australians. And by a little, I mean another 56 points extra they've been able to score. That's like playing a whole extra game over the Kiwis. But Australia certainly know how to get the ball down over the try line. New Zealand, if they can do that early in this game, maybe they will be able to help themselves towards some points. At 7:30 in Malta now, says Paulina, you're doing Ireland tomorrow, by the way, late night celebrating, says Richard in there. So we are hoping to do a bit of the Ireland versus Fiji game, but then we will be transferring over to England versus Samoa for the Rugby League World Cup. That seems to be what has been recommended by you guys who have been asking it at 7:45 p.m. kickoff, or AM kickoff, I should say. I didn't actually realize that. I thought it was 8:30 that this game was getting underway. I guess we got it about 14 minutes or so. And also we get the high H, Australia by 18 the other day. I tipped England W by 36 versus Papua New Guinea Women's won by 38. Listen to the boss H, says Peter. And also Kiwis have to bring it up 3 or 4 notches today versus Nathan Cleary. Yeah, he's going to be a hard man to stop, as we have seen throughout the NRL for the Panthers. And a lot of the Kiwis, they would have thought they may not have had to deal with him throughout this matchup or this competition. But now it seems like it is going to be a bit of a reality for the Kiwis. And what's up, brother Hamish? Coming from Wellington, Harris Crew says Justin Darren, big love, people. Semi-finals are upon us. Happy times, happy times. Yeah, these are big matches. And it's one of those ones that for New Zealand, if they allow Australia to get that early momentum, I think it's going to be very hard to take back. But if they can muscle up early, first 10 to 20 minutes, just really put in those big hits, make sure they don't allow Australia to make those 50-plus meters per set, that's where New Zealand have got a chance of this game at 7:45 p.m. Ireland kickoff. And also one of the other 2 teams in the semi-finals, it is Samoa and England. And they are going to be playing a little bit later on today, I guess you could say it. It is 3:30 a.m. New Zealand time that one will be taking place. I may have to do that for a little bit throughout the start of this live stream. Like I mentioned, anytime it's a really nice day, I just end up sneezing flat out. I've already done it this morning, so hopefully it ends up going away by halftime, but hopefully I don't do it while I'm playing cricket today, or else that would be quite dangerous, wouldn't it? Trying to sneeze just before the ball's being bowled. And also, we have got to hear about France's Rugby World Cup HQ got raided by French police. So we're on the news and no clue what happened there. I guess what would you be keeping in a Rugby World Cup HQ? I think rugby-related stuff. Interesting. Hopefully it all got passed and whatnot. And also we have got the soccer question, quick soccer question, are you World Cup? Says Richard, I assume you're saying, are you doing the Soccer World Cup? And we are planning on doing a few of those games on the channel. I'm not too sure whether or not it is going to be on this channel or the Kiwi Lads Sport. Just kind of depends on that copyright side of things. But we are planning on doing some sort of something. And Samoa versus England tomorrow, says Brenda. Yeah, it's going to be an awesome matchup when it does take place. And also you have some fever, hay fever. So pretty much it's just when the pollen is in the air, I sneeze a lot. And also we've got that, it's 9:30 p.m. night here in Cape Town. Greetings from us to you. And also there could be a bone cruncher of a match. Clean tackles and no silly stuff, says Roof. Yeah, hopefully discipline does live up to expectations in this contest. Normally it's not too bad when the Kiwis play Australia, but that is until there's a big hit or something and then everyone just kind of loses their cool. And are you English, Richard? And how did the cricket go, Hamish? Not quite played yet. 4 hours time I have to go down. It's actually at the local high school. So luckily it's like a 2-minute drive or something along those lines. So we'll probably end up going down for about 12:30. The game starts at 1. And then it'll be an interesting one. It's actually very hot today. I was hoping it would be slightly cold just so that you don't get absolutely overheated while having a batting helmet on. But so that might need the helmet on for only like 5 minutes, depending on how it goes. And as we're expecting England to dominate India in the semi-finals with a one-sided result. I know that England were going to be coming into that one with some pretty good form because normally when England start a competition slow, they finish it very well. And that's kind of what they've done throughout this matchup. They've kind of slowly built up. And India, I think they'll be pretty disappointed. I wonder, would you rather the Kiwis win the cricket or the Rugby League? Well, they've already lost the cricket, so the Rugby League would do quite nicely. And then you like to watch the match. Your best bet, if you are in England, is on Sky Sport UK. Spark Sport in New Zealand and KO in Australia, I believe. And look at you go, going to play a cricket game, are you? I am. It's a bit intimidating, really. It's going to be my first cricket game in about 12 years that I've played. Oh, no, it might not be 12. I think it's definitely been a decade, though. So about 3,650 days since I've put the pads on in an actual match. It's going to be weird. But the body's sore because I had training on Thursday. So from here down on this side and here down on this side, it's just pure pain. But she'll be right. I said to my dad, I made a joke about it. I said it just means that I won't be reaching for the ball as much because I won't be able to. So that's quite handy. Bit of test match style betting. And sellout crowd at Eden Park tonight for the Women's Rugby World Cup final versus the Black Ferns. And I should mention we are actually doing that game relatively close to after my cricket match finishes. So that is something to look forward to as well. Will be myself and my mum wait. So when is the match? So it is in 4 hours time, New Zealand time. So about 12:30 p.m. is when we have to go down there. Starts at 1. So, yeah, it is going to be 4 hours from now is when I'll be playing. So it'll actually be a midnight game or so for you guys in South Africa. And any score predictions for New Zealand versus Oz? For me, Australia have been a very good side throughout this Rugby League World Cup. So unless something changes, I can see them getting themselves a victory, even though I know I'm from New Zealand and that's not something I should be saying. But they've played very well throughout this Rugby League World Cup. And I feel like they deserve credit for that. James Tedesco and his side have made it very tricky. But New Zealand are one of those sides that can sometimes be a dark horse for the Australians. And maybe that could end up being the case. What grade cricket? I believe it's 3rd grade. It's pretty much just they didn't have numbers. And my uncle and his son, also known as my cousin, are on that team. So that is why I'm playing for them. Are you playing cricket with George and Isaac? No, George would get bored after 5 minutes and go home. Isaac is a few hours up the road. And also, will you bat or bowl? Probably both, I would think. And that one of Fox in Australia says relaxing Kiwi. And also we have got there in the chat. Now I am Irish. Last name is English. So I take it we must English somewhere down the line 1,000 years ago. And also we have got, I would rather win the Rugby League World Cup. New Zealand already have the biggest trophy in cricket. And your thoughts on Samoa versus Tonga game? It was an awesome one. A close matchup right to the end. I'm just sad that we got a copyright strike halfway through it and then had to deal with that for the second half. So I missed some of the second half because I was trying to get everything removed from the channel so that we could continue streaming. So we've done well to be able to get it done as quickly as we did, because if we still had that copyright strike, we wouldn't be able to stream this game, which would have been quite a big shame. I should also mention they are now playing the last post for this matchup, which is something we do normally see for when these two sides play off for Anzac Day. Amish Rugby League tonight on the BBC Ukraine tonight, says Richard. And also everything you say about the Rugby League is on point, my bro. Australia definite favourites, but the Kiwis can pull off a magic trick out there every now and then. And as much as I want New Zealand to win, I think Australia will be too good. Is he there? And what are the major differences between league and union? Pretty much biggest difference you'd have to say is the fact that you've got sets in rugby league. So pretty much you have 6 tackles and then you've got to give the ball to the opposition. Whereas in union, you can keep on hitting the ball up like 50 times over if you had that ball for that long, and you can just keep on going and going and going. So that's a big difference. Also, I guess the fact that there's only 13 men on the field rather than 15, and the way that the two sides defend, I guess, is another thing. You actually allow the man to stand back up and then roll the ball between his legs to then continue the plays. And also the Kiwis are due for a big one. They've been rather average so far, says Cooper Gronk. I do agree. It seems like New Zealand, throughout this competition, haven't really been able to find themselves that massive game. And the question now is, will it be this match that they are able to find it? And if it is, that is at the expense of Australia, which is not really what Australia would be wanting, I would think. And at the end of the day, there's a chance that we could see a New Zealand versus England game next week in the final. And also it overlaps with New Zealand versus England in the Rugby Union, which would be a big shame to have both of those games taking place at the same time. They have had the minute silence. Now we are just about to hear the national anthems, and then both sides will be getting underway in this contest. Do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, your first try scorer of this matchup. Who do you think it will be? And they are just about to do the national anthems. We will quickly go like this. I do apologise for my hay fever as well, ladies and gentlemen. It was not anticipated for this live stream, but like I mentioned, anytime we have it, it normally means it's going to be a really nice day. So hopefully everyone else in the area gets to go out and enjoy it. And hey, lads, high five for the boys. Let's go, Kiwis. Not very confident, though, says Marco. And that seems to be the common, I guess, occurrence for a lot of Kiwi supporters is they want to win this game, but they just know it's going to be a very hard one to win. And I hope that they do turn up for this game, the Kiwis, or else there could be a similar scoreline to what we saw between Australia and Lebanon, which did end up with the Lebanese being beaten by about 40 points. I don't think it will get that high, though. I think around 20 points is definitely the cap for how much Australia could win by. New Zealand, though, I see them as a side that could only win this game by maybe 10 points maximum, if they're lucky. And Nakora first try, says Ghosty, Adokar first try scorer, and also we have got there, where's the Poppy Amish? And there as well. I haven't got one on me, but they have got a lot of them at the ground by the looks of it. So maybe they bought them all. We'll go with that anyway. And also Kiwis and the Kiwi Ferns need a decent goal kicker. That's what cost the Kiwi Ferns, says Cooper Cronk in there as well. And also that's Poppy Weekend and England Military Weekend, says Richard. And also Saffers would be good at rugby league, big, powerful, and strong, says Marco Vanapola. I hope it's like last time, because last night's stream when we had hay fever at the start, it went away by halftime. So at the moment, I got my fingers crossed. I feel like I'm going to sneeze 5 times in a row, which is not what you want for a live stream, because not only will I look funny sneezing, and you guys could screenshot that, but also it just makes it inconvenient, doesn't it? And yeah, strange how we don't play rugby league. Says not everyday Cotters and Cheers, says Cap Tiger. And there as well. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, do let me know your score prediction for this matchup. We have at the New Zealand national anthem. She has just hit a higher note than I think any man who has had his testicles drop can hit. But it was a pretty high one from the opera singer. And like there's no exposure to rugby league in any of our schools or clubs. And Latrell, the first try, says, and always say Latrell Mitchell, man, he's had a pretty decent Rugby League World Cup as well. But I think the Fox is someone that a lot of people are looking at. No, the Savers would be blaming the ref every time they lose, says Kipper Cronk. And there as well. The Australian national anthem, they've got the Gallagher sign right on the middle of their stomach. The thing is, anytime I see that, I think of the Gallagher Premiership, and then I think of, unfortunately, the fact that we have seen the Wasps and also Worcester both get kicked out of the Gallagher Premiership, unfortunately, due to finances, I guess is the best way of describing it. And also, they're so true, so he's not your everyday cultist. We've just seen a thumbs up from one of the children in front of the Australian side. Is that a sign that he thinks that they're going to win, or just a sign that he's seen himself maybe being on TV? And 26-10 either way. And one thing we forgot about this match, when both teams, or will both teams be undercooked, says Richard. I don't know. They're both going with very strong lineups for this matchup. So I think they're both, I guess, used to such a quick turnaround. That's another big, okay, it's a battle of the high notes and kind of the long opera singing, like, people who are doing the national anthem, one of those combinations they decided to go with. In leagues, and Minnosport only played on the east coast of Australia, South Auckland and south of England. Minor code, a Rugby League World Cup is hardly an international comp, says Marco. And also your game prediction, I'm going to go 24 points to 18 in favour of one of these sides. I haven't decided who yet. As I just love taking digs at league. Union is number 1, says Marco Vanapola, and also New Zealand will win, says Zach Johnson, and not picking a team that's winning, just a score. So yeah, 24-18 is what I will be going with for this one. And like they're saying, a couple outs for the Australians. They haven't got Lindsay Collins or Campbell Graham for this contest, but Ben Hunt and Regan Campbell Gillard have been brought in. New Zealand in for Moses Leota, and Sorensen has been taken out. New Zealand about to do their haka, and then this match will be underway. And go New Zealand, says Jason, and also Kiwis have better forwards. Australia have better backs, says Cooper Cronk. So I guess it's that massive question of which one will be more effective in this contest. And for a poll, how about give several score options for us, and then we can choose the score that's closest to our prediction, says Not Your Everyday Cultist. It is an idea that we could possibly look at. I haven't actually got the YouTube poll open at the moment, so maybe at halftime we could add that in for the second half. That is something you're keen on. And Campbell Graham, the GOAT, says Brenda, and there as well. Now, New Zealand looking fired up as ever for this contest. And at the end of the day, if you're not fired up for a semi-final, you got no show in the final. And it seems like New Zealand know how important this game is. Cameron Munster is looking like he's staring at pretty much the abyss, really. He wasn't even looking fazed by the haka New Zealand accent coming out, says Brenda. Yeah, sometimes it ends up slipping out every once in a while, just like when I have fish and chips, as we say here in New Zealand. And I know that annoys New Zealanders because they think we don't say it that bad, but sometimes we do. We end up just going chips. And I mean, both teams hammered everyone up to now. So will that go against both of them, says Richard. I mean, it's a good point all right in the face. Okay, New Zealand giving the Australians some handshakes and whatnot for being right up in their face, but you can feel now this is a big test match. They both know it's the semi-final. They both know that this 80 minutes could change the way these two sides are looked at for a very long time. I wish I know that feeling. Heart and head. Aussie going to kick butt unless New Zealand can keep it tight. But from the haka, I'd say New Zealand are looking like they well and truly know what they've signed up for in this matchup. They've got a strong lineup, but Australia, they're a side that if you don't shut down them early, they can beat you by 30 points. And morning, Amish, New Zealand, let's get this, says Nate. And Ausbie's forwards are playing for Tonga and Samoa, says Hanoi, and also Morena, Nate, says Marco Avonapola as well. So anyone who hasn't already, be sure to let me know your first try scorer predictions. We've already seen, I believe the Fox Addo car has been the most popular option to be able to score the first try of this contest. Nakora also was one that was a bit of a recommendation from someone in the chat. But I think Mulitalo for me is also standing out a little bit. I think I said the Fox for the Aussies, but I think I'm saying Mulitalo for the Kiwis and Black Ferns Kiwis and the Kiwi Ferns. And Australia win 20 plus, says Ben Randall. There is a very high probability that that could be the case if New Zealand don't play that aggressive style of rugby league for the first 10 or 15 minutes. Brandon Smith hugged his best mate Grant, says it was Hanoi there, and also Kiwis will win, no doubt about it, says Stephen. And it's difficult for me as an outsider to tell the difference between the Aussie and New Zealand action. I found that New Zealand accent is like an exaggerated Aussie accent, but it also sounds more British. Yeah, I guess for us Kiwis, we always say that the Australian accent, in the nicest way possible, it has a little bit more of a twang to it, I guess you could say, like a little bit more of an exaggeration at the end of the words. You know, like you kind of got a little bit more of that. That wasn't a good example. And also, let's go the Warriors, says Peter H. And also the AB says Maxa. And also anyone put multis on. This game is one that I think multis, anyone who's put one on is probably going to lose their money because it's so unpredictable when these two sides face off. Right, Australia, they will be kicking off this one from left to right, and it will be James Tedesco about to get us underway for the first of two Rugby League World Cup semi-finals. How's the crowd? It's looking pretty full for this matchup. Everyone knows it's a big contest when these two sides play. The Trans-Tasman rivalry. Tedesco kicks it off long, and we are now underway for this contest. Nicely taken straight away by Jerome Hughes. They've just said the only time these two sides have met in a semi-final was 2005. I was walking around at about 6 years of age at that time. It's been quite a wee while. Nakora, though, tackled by Crichton. New Zealand 20 metres out from their line. Another aggressive run. That's going to be James Fisher Harris in Australia by 20 plus, says Tony there. And put one on for fingers, both fingers crossed, says Brenda there. And the AB's 24, Australia 20. It's the prediction from Not Your Everyday Cultures. New Zealand moving up to the 40-metre line now. Throwing Joseph Manu at the line. Seems to be a tactic that was seen relatively early in pretty much every single game that the Kiwis have. Now 41 metres gain. Jerome Hughes has a bit of a pick and go himself. Charging hard. Looks for the offload. Does manage to find it now. It's kicked in behind by New Zealand. Nakota gets plenty of height on it. Taken nicely, though, by Australia. And Valentine Holmes has been able to regather. And this will now be the Australians' first chance. U1999. I am indeed. Believe it or not, some people think I'm about 50 years older than I am. It's the beard, I swear. And probably the dark rings around the eyes because it looks like I haven't slept for a century. Now another run forward. Liam Martin that time. It's been hit backwards by the Kiwis. I believe Dylan Brown was the man who made the tackle there, going the short side. Now looking dangerous, almost getting cleaned up there, Ben Hunt, but luckily was able to duck under the tackle of Mulitalo. Now New Zealand just trying to stop the Australians from making too many metres in the middle of the park. They were able to gain a 37-metre set there. Sitting on the halfway line, Nathan Cleary kicks it up high New Zealand looking like they're going to let this one bounce. That's a dangerous tactic, but not quite taken cleanly by New Zealand. It wasn't knock on, I thought, but they are saying play on just for now. And I was like, no, you look 45 at worst, says Siddhartha. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. Saying I look 45 at worst. What do I look at best, Siddhartha? Do I look younger than 20 if I'm lucky? Probably not. Now, New Zealand, they have got the possession. The ball's been stripped, though. A little bit of a loose carry from Hiku, and they're going back now for the scrum. Australia now 30 metres out from New Zealand's line. We have got a spammer in the chat, so we will go that 50. I thought you were in 20s. Yeah, I am in my 20s, but some people think I look older than I am, which is good when you're trying to like buy anything like a chainsaw. Did you know you got to be 18 to buy a chainsaw? I don't actually own a chainsaw yet, but I just found that an interesting stat. And ready for your cricket game today, says Ollie. I'm nervous. I feel like I'm going to possibly not go that great, but, you know, positive mindset. Of course, you got to make sure that you're thinking you're going to get a good score. It's going to be a set restart for the Australians from 25 metres out. Now, Campbell Gillard throws himself at the line. Please reinstate the spammer. I need free love badly, says Tony. And they're now back across to the left-hand side. Australia with the drawn pass. Latrell Mitchell finds a nice offload to Cleary. And now is looking to pierce the line of the Kiwis. That was a nice little bit of play, though, from the Australians to be able to keep that ball alive. Get those few extra metres made. Second tackle now. Isaiah Yeo. Inside ball. Going off to Campbell Gillard. Taken down 10 metres out from New Zealand's line. They're up to the third tackle now. Going off to the right-hand side here. Bit of a drawn pass from Munster. Looked like he was going to throw it wide. Instead, decided to take the contact himself. That is now up to fourth for Australia. Tedesco trying to pierce his way through. Gets close 5 metres out now from the line. And that will be fifth and final for the Australians. Back into the pocket. Cleary looking for the cross kick. It's going to be set it up high. New Zealand tap it back. And it's going to be set up nicely for Dylan Brown. In fact, it was Rapanu who was able to clean it up. And now Joseph Manu looking for the counter run. That was lucky because Australia looking to try and get themselves that cross kick that they've used many times throughout this Rugby League World Cup so far. I believe it was actually, at the end, Latrell Mitchell who jumped up and wasn't quite able to regather. I like the NFL, or the NRL, AFL, and NFL. And there, Peter from Switzerland says, Peter, and also 18 for a chainsaw, 16 for a car license. A car's deadlier, says Gotoku. I once got ID'd to have a pie, like an actual like mince pie. I had to get my ID out to be able to buy it at a pub. Now that's gone into touch. You shouldn't ask why the pub was selling pies, but pretty much they had a bakery next to it. And yeah, I had to get my ID out just to buy a mince pie, which I found interesting. I don't think that happens very often. Now Fisher Harris charges forward nicely. 5 minutes into this game already in New Zealand, sitting about 20 metres out from the Australian line, looking for the outside ball here. Jerome Hughes sells the dummy here. Is definitely one of the keys for the Kiwis throughout this matchup. And best offload of the tournament, says Richard. And in the US, it's 16 to drive, but 21 to drink. Says not every day. Coltis now close to the line. Another offload from New Zealand. Tries the grubber. And 86 metres gained off that set. But now Australia have got the position. A hat-trick is coming, mate, says Ollie. Whose hat-trick? Is it Josh Addo-Carr's or is it someone else's? Because I know Josh Addo-Carr, he has scored plenty of hat-tricks throughout this Rugby League World Cup up till this point. Now, nice step from Whiten, taken down. And the tackle by, I believe it was Isaiah Papali'i. Now, another big carry from Australia. So far, we've actually seen New Zealand making more metres. And also pied in there, says Katoku. And also, what matches are you doing tomorrow? So we have got the other semi-final of the Rugby League World Cup. Also, alongside that, we're hoping to do Wales versus Argentina, South Africa versus France. And then also, a little bit earlier than that, we've got the Women's World Cup. Maybe the pie had alcohol in the meat, says Anoi. It didn't. It was just because they didn't have someone on the bakery, I had to buy it at the counter of the bar. So because of that, that's why I got ID'd. It was still a very confusing time. Luckily, I had my ID, or else they would have been like, sorry, we can't serve you this pastry because you're not 18, or you don't have proof that you're 18. Though you had to get ID'd because they put too much Guinness in the pie. Says not your everyday cultist. And also, you're getting a hat-trick in the cricket. Oh, yeah, no, I'll take a hat-trick if I'm bowling. It's a bit sore at the moment. I don't know if I can roll the arm over. 40 metres out from the line now, New Zealand still on attack. Kicked high. Waiting for this one to come down. James Tedesco takes it nicely just out from the Australian line, and they will now have themselves possession once again. And also we have got there the Fox, says Peter. Yeah, he's certainly going to be one to watch out for, though he hasn't touched the ball as of yet. And are you a spinner or a pace bowler? Mainly spinner, but I can bowl pace as well if they need it. I'm pretty much, if they need a bowler to bowl something, I'll be the one who has to do it. And also, so you're not doing England versus Japan. I believe that overlaps with England versus Samoa in the semi-final of the Rugby League World Cup. So we are going to be doing that one instead. Currently 7.5 minutes through. Australia sitting 40 metres out from the line, going for a kick early, looking for the 40-20. It's gone out on the full from Ben Hunt, and that is going to give New Zealand a nice position on the field for territory. Now try and build themselves another set of 6, and Hamish is going to get a 50. Says not everyday culture is an idea to buy food. They trolled you. I would think so, but he was pretty serious at the time. Like, I feel like if it was a joke, he would have, at least slightly smirked or something. But no, it was just like, sorry, we have to ask you for ID because we're at the bar rather than at the bakery. I was like, the bakery's 2 meters that way, like literally right there. That's the bakery. So he couldn't go to that counter. He had to serve me at the other one, bowl and underarm. I don't think they'd want me to come back if I did that. And New Zealand win 27 points to 24 in there as well. New Zealand now 40 metres out from the line, inside ball off to Isaiah Papali'i. GC Bromwich has the carry up to third now for the Kiwis, sitting 15 metres out from the line, in New Zealand trying to pierce their way through. Nice offload there, keeping it alive. Tapini was the man who found it, and now, whoa, that was going to be a big shot coming in from Brandon Smith, but that is brilliantly done by Australia to hang on there. And also Ben Hunt stuffed the punt, says Katoku there. I was the best match of the tournament by miles, says Richard, and it has only just started, only 9 minutes through. Josh Adokar now with the ball. The Fox runs it straight at Tapini and has been taken down. Yeah, that little kick from Brandon Smith. Great commitment. And behind, I believe it was actually Hunt who was able to jump on that ball. And you bit sick, mate. Nah, it's just hay fever, luckily. Which is good news for me, I guess, because it means it's going to be a nice day, 100% applied troll. I worked in hospital enough to know, says Tony there. And also we get there, Australia all the way, says Viniana. Now kicked him behind. Although the guy who did it now doesn't work there. So I feel like that could be a telling sign as well, maybe. But nice run forward from Joseph Manu, 40 metres out from the line. Hughes going off to the left. New Zealand, though, they've made more metres than Australia in the early stages. And also we have got there, I heard that in Australia it is illegal to have a swimming pool without a fence barrier around it. That makes sense. I mean, safety is number one priority, I guess you could say, as the crazy Russian hacker. Geez, he's a throwback YouTuber. He used to say that, didn't he? I also said boom a lot. That is going to be 2 tackles in New Zealand, 10 minutes, I should say, into the contest, 40 metres out. Jerome Hughes, one more on the outside to Joseph Manu. Doesn't find the offload that he would have been after. He's been dropped hard on his back as well by Latrell Mitchell. He was asking for a 6 again. The referee says no. Now offloaded by Rapana. Nice bit of play between him and Fisher Harris, who receives the ball back. 25 metres out now from the line up to 4th. Kiwis getting closer to the line now. Nice attack and run from Brown. Gives it off to Papali'i. Almost lost his... Oh, he has lost his pants. He's had them ripped clean off them. And it's going to be the checkered budgie smugglers on show for the world to see. He's trying to pull the shorts up. The shorts do not exist anymore, though. Now kicked across. Up in the air. New Zealand take it. And it's going to be the try for Jerome Hughes. Tapped back by the Kiwis. And they do manage to score the first try of this Rugby League World Cup semi-final. Jerome Hughes able to get that one. Jerome Hughes of the Melbourne Storm, says Jonathan, and try the All Blacks, says Richard of the Kiwis. Let's go New Zealand Kiwis, says Nate there. And also we have got the who are you going for. I am from New Zealand. I know that Australia is certainly going to be a tough side to beat in this contest, but that was a great cross kick going up. Tapped back by, I believe that was, I want to say it was Joseph Manu who tapped it back, who knew he wasn't quite going to be able to take that one and get the momentum to go over the line. And yeah, great work from Joseph Manu. Gave it off to Jerome Hughes, who gets in over the try line. First try of the match now goes the way of New Zealand Kangaroos. Look, shocked, my guy. Well, they probably weren't expecting for New Zealand to be able to have as much territory and possession as they had throughout the first 10 minutes of this contest. Although, of course, it is a long game, rugby league, 80 minutes. First 11 minutes, you'd have to say, have gone the way of the Kiwis, but the rest of this game could certainly go the other way as well. Jerome Hughes taking some deep breaths now, just trying to really, I guess, have it sink in of what's just happened. New Zealand, they haven't been great starters throughout this Rugby League World Cup. To be able to score first, though, up against the Australia and getting the points that a lot of teams get against Australia, just quickly looking through at the way that it normally sits. As you can see here, 8 points for Fiji, 0, 6, 4. The Kiwis have already got their 4 in the first kind of 10 or so minutes of this contest, but that is exactly what Fiji did. Fiji scored the first try and the last try of that game. Australia got the 42 points in between. So the Kiwis certainly need to keep their eyes on the prize here. A little bit of blood coming out of the ear of Jordan Rapana there, and the offloads are helping the All Blacks and also Toa Samoa all day. They are, of course, going to be taking on England a little bit later on in the day, about maybe 18 hours time or so. It's when we get to see that match, but that kick is successful from Jordan Rapana, and now the Kiwis sitting 12 minutes into the contest, 6-0 up over Australia. Hamish, are you covering the women's final tonight? I certainly am. We will be scheduling that one just after this match finishes, and also before I head away to my cricket match I am taking part in. The New Zealand teams usually always start off slow. Good signs, says Cooper Cronk. It's going to be kicked off long by Tedesco to get us back underway in this contest, taken nicely by Joseph Manu. In fact, no, sorry, that was actually Jerome Hughes, the try scorer. Oh, a little bit of push and shove off the ball there. Latrell Mitchell was almost through. Right, what are they checking out there? The referee has blown a penalty for something. Seemed like a bit of push and shove going on as well. If we don't make too many mistakes, we will go all right. Go the Kiwis, says David. New Zealand teams usually start off slow. And also, we have got there, have you read the book? And there says Tony. Not too sure which book that one is. And also, can you play Cricket 22? At some stage, we might be able to play some Cricket 22 on the channel. It's funny, I actually pre-ordered that game to play it a lot when it came out, and I still haven't played it yet. Fun fact. New Zealand up to the halfway line, though, and they will now be able to have another attacking run. It's going to be Jesse Bromwich, who will be very impressed with how New Zealand have started this match, but they need to make sure that they keep this match going the way that they are here. Keep the ball in hand, keep the territory advantage for the Kiwis. Tapine has been wrestled down. That was going to be a big shot on Fisher Harris by Campbell Gillard, the two men with double names. Now off to the left-hand side, Jerome Hughes, short ball to Tapine. Another offload flick. That is something we're seeing a lot more from New Zealand in this game than any of the others. Joseph Manu now trying to break the line. Another offload to Peter Hitku. Now only 10 metres out from the line. Now Latrell Mitchell able to make that tackle fourth. They've still got one more for the Kiwis. Brandon Smith inside ball to Fisher Harris, who's picked up and dropped. Jesse Bromwich, though, receives the offload from him. Now Papali, quick hands, nice bit of a spin from Nicole Klostad. He's trying to get through, but the Kiwis seem like they are getting pushed back a little bit by Australia in the defensive side of things just for now. Now it's going to be the kick high from Dylan Brown, waiting for it. Joseph Manu unable to line it up, and instead Latrell gets under it. And now Australia got the possession. Ball was ripped. Says Richard and Hamish, if we win this, do we get into the finals? They certainly do, and they will end up either facing off against England or Samoa if they were able to get through to that stage. Now, nice run forward from Crichton. He's making a couple extra metres, but they're saying about Adokar. He's been a little bit quiet throughout the first stages of this contest, but that can certainly change. Isaiah Yo now with a nice carry, 15 metres out from their own line here, Australia. Adokar, good shot on him. Low it was, but now the line break down the wing. Oh no, he slipped over Valentine Holmes. The only man who was able to tackle Holmes was himself in that scenario, and he lost a lot of momentum in doing so. Now fifth and final, 52 metres gained for Australia. The ball's gone high, and the Fox, Adokar, chasing after it. He's taken it. What a catch, and what a try for Australia. That was absolutely sensational, and you cannot keep this man out of any matchup of rugby league. That is going to be one of the best tries of Australia this competition, and they have had some absolute crackers throughout this Rugby League World Cup. That is his 12th try. He'll be going another one in the bag, I guess, but Adokar, what a try it was. That is a picture-perfect kick across field. We know that Adokar can run at about 37 miles an hour, or maybe 37 kilometres actually. Miles would be very quick, but he's just chased it. No one underneath it for the Kiwis. Rapana just has to watch as the Fox flies by. And that one, like a flying fox, accurate to a T, gets onto it, takes it, and he didn't even need to dive for it either. He already was there at Adokar. And also we have got there, bro. He just looked at the even says Nate. And also, try Australia, best I have ever seen. And also, we have got there on the last tackle, no, says Cooper Cronk. And also the Fox emojis in the chat as well. But Adokar fired up for that one. All right, New Zealand, they may have to look at a different way of defending when they do end up going for that cross kick. Because Adokar has done brilliantly there. Is it a try? It certainly is. He was onside. He could have run an extra 10 or so meters and still would have caught up with that ball. Why would Brad leave him out of New South Wales? Says Jay in there as well. Now, Nathan Cleary lining up this kick. It's going to be a relatively tough run from the touchline for Nathan Cleary. And also we have got there, because he fell, then a fantastic kick. Well, says Richard. Now 17 minutes into this game, and we have already seen a bit of a seesaw. I mentioned it. New Zealand, they did what Fiji did. They scored the first try of the contest, but now they need to make sure that they do continue to score tries, or else this is where Australia are their most dangerous, when they start to find momentum like this. But Nathan Cleary lining up the kick from the touchline, 17 minutes in, and yeah, snuck that one over the left hand upright. So that will now make the score a little bit, well, a lot more closer. 6-all now between these two sides. Needs New Zealand to win for the mana, says Bubba there, and several cross-kick tries already, says not everyday cultures. Yeah, it does seem like the tactic that both sides will be using. I guess that's a smart one to use in England, because if it is a slippery surface, I don't believe this game they've actually got rain, which is brilliant, because it's one of the first games in a while they haven't had a lot of rain. But if they haven't got rain, it's still a little bit slippery underfoot, I would think, with it being a late night fixture. So you do want to use that to your advantage. A bit Australia offside, but the Australian ref will turn a blind eye, says Reverse. Is he from Australia, Ashley Klein? I thought he was English. Oh, no, he might be Australian. I just heard a bit of the twang and the accent. Campbell Gillard hits it up at the line, but yeah, Adokar onside for that one. And like I mentioned, it could have been another 5 or 10 meters in front of him, and he still would have caught that ball, Josh Adokar. Now sitting 6-all in this semi-final. Like I mentioned, the winner faces England or Samoa. That game is taking place later on tonight, and we will be covering it on the channel. New Zealand so far have made 352 meters, whereas Australia only the 170, but 49 meters gained. Now kicking it back downfield, this time not a cross kick, just straight down the middle of the park, and Joseph Manu has done well. That ball hung in the air for ages. Liam Martin almost able to get onto it. The organisers already have the tickets. Kiwis to go home, says Bubba. They do. New Zealand, if they lose this match, they are going to be flying home tomorrow. So it's one of those ones that they'll be hoping they have to cancel those flights. Don't know whether or not they'll get the refund if it's within the 24 hours. They probably got the flexible booking package, I would think, from one of the airline providers, just to make sure that they didn't cost them a massive amount. But Brandon Smith now hitting it up for the Kiwis. Another big run for Fisher Harris. He's felt the power of Liam Martin there. But he springs straight back to his feet. So if nothing happened, 21 metres gained from New Zealand in that set, so not as many as they have been able to throughout the last little while. Now, attack and run from Tedesco. Good tackle made by Jerome Hughes around the bootlaces, almost a quarter of the way through this matchup now. Nice short ball to Munster. Moves up to the halfway line for Australia. And also, yeah, Aussie ref, Rugby League still in the 90s, neutral refs, and he's a fair ref, asked Tonga, says Jay Roberts. And also we have got there, wait, is he actually an Australian ref? I believe so. But like someone said, Peter has said he refs in the Super League, probably dual citizenship for him as well. Now the ball on the outside. Tedesco, one more. This is a good attack and run from Whiten, but he's been taken down 20 metres out now, trying to hold him down there a little bit longer. Was the Kiwi number 21, Nicole Clockstead. Now Isaiah gives it across. It's going to be sitting up. Oh, the ball did not fall the way that the Australians wanted it to there. And it did lose them quite a few metres in the process. Now last tackle, fifth and final. Little chip in mind from Munster. Nothing kicking. New Zealand have been able to clean it up. Now Joseph Manu will be trying to hit it back, and he is tackled by Nathan Cleary. Now, Rapani almost had that ball knocked out of his hands as he took the contact. Still 15 metres out from the Kiwi line, though. Looking off to the left-hand side. The drawing pass looking strong for New Zealand. Good attack and run from Mulitalo. One of the first times we've seen that man carrying it. And also we've got the Ashley Klein, the same guy that screwed the Warriors over for years. So I guess perfect man to be reffing this game then in a way, isn't it? Now, nice run from Joseph Manu, tackled by Isaiah Yo. And Nathan Cleary again now around the side. New Zealand looking short. Clockstad. Tackle there, Nicole Clockstad, that is. Now 40 metres out from the line, 35 metres gained from New Zealand, and that's it. And an interesting stat that they've just put up on the field we have actually seen that New Zealand have had 8 offloads compared to just the one that we've seen from Australia. So a new aspect to the Kiwi game that we haven't really seen throughout some of their other fixtures. What you're watching in, bro, says Tizer. So I am watching on Spark Sport here in New Zealand. And I think that is the best bet. Also, it is on Fox in Australia. So if you have got yourself I think it's a Fox subscription, is it? Or how do you watch it in Australia, ladies and gentlemen? Is it for free? Do let me know. And Rugby League World Cup organisers doing what they can do to make those plane tickets valid, says Bubba. Nice run from Australia. Oh, the ball's been knocked out of his hands. The Fox has lost the ball. As the comment, it sounds like the start of a nursery rhyme, but he is disappointed there. Josh Adokar. Oh, that ball knocked out of his hands, he thinks. Maybe, but I think it was more just the second man and the Kiwi tackle ended up landing on his back, and then that momentum ended up bouncing the ball out of... Oh, that kind of looks like a punch of the ball, to be honest. Ooh. Yeah, they might have considered a captain's challenge for that one, but I think they decided not to. And also, we've got their damn what a game. Morning, Hamish. Morning, all. Welcome in. David, hope you are doing extremely well, mate. My voice is sounding like it's going to be struggling already, which is not a good sign. Seeing as, we have got a whole 20 hours of streaming, I think, over the next little while. Finals is already written. England versus Australia. Watch the ref help Australia win, says Tangata. And there's our only thing for free are the 7-day trials, says Brenda. So I guess if you get strategic with when you sign up for the 7-day trial, oh no, they've done it really strategic. You can't actually get the final and the semi-final in one go, unfortunately, with the 7-day free trial. Now across to the right-hand side, Jerome Hughes. Nice inside ball to Fisher Harris. Nicely taken. But a good tackle made by Jake Travojevic, of course. His brother Tom, I believe, still nursing a bit of an injury. Jerome Hughes goes back again. Nice ball to Brown. Bit of a spin from Joseph Manu. New Zealand sitting on the 4th. They've decided to go for the offload. Thought it went forward, but it is going to be play on just for now here. And also actually been reffing, says Brendan. Mean commentary, love your commentary. Or Mean Bro, love your commentary, says Anthony. Do appreciate that a lot, mate. And we have got plenty more coming. So anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're on the road to 20,000. At the moment, we are getting closer every single day now. Off to the right-hand side for New Zealand. 5th and final. Jerome Hughes with a little grubber to Desco. It's going to be a knock-on, an accidental offside for Munster. So that means New Zealand are going to have themselves another set of 6, only 10 metres out from the line now. I think it's one of those ones that Tedesco, he's done well to at least keep Australia in this for a little bit longer, I guess you could say. And also, wait, why is an Australian reffing and when Australian playing, says Richard? I think it is more down to, I guess, just maybe the highest qualified ref you would think in the competition. I assume England versus Samoa isn't going to have an English ref, but I wouldn't be surprised if that is kind of how it's laid out. Maybe they already had the referees assigned before. That could be an Ush 6 again at the 10-metre mark, surely, says Brenda, and that is exactly what they're going to have here for New Zealand. A big opportunity in New Zealand for the win play here game, says Mark Anthony there. Tedesco having a bit of a breather, and also Rapana trying to stop his ear from bleeding, I believe. Checking what way the wind's blowing. Oh, are New Zealand taking the 2 here? I think New Zealand are taking on 2 here. That's a surprising one for me. I would have thought they'd go aggressive, try and get some more points on the board up against an Australian side who normally score for fun. He's good ref, can't blame the ref, says Jay. And yeah, and also looks like you're the only one. So he's not everyday cultures and also should always be neutral refs in a World Cup especially, says Cooper Cronk. There's but yeah, Rapana going to be taking on the 2 points here for New Zealand. This is, I mean, I can understand why they're doing it. Points on the board, of course, are a lot better than the points that you could miss out on if you go for the attacking opportunity. You would not see that on Rugby Union. No chance, says Richard. And always take the 2, says Brenda. And also over there, that's respect, says Jay. And there as well. Yeah, Australia, we're able to defend pretty well there overall for their set. It seems like the time is now off. And also, when the Warriors played, says Cooper Cronk. And also, we get there, let's go Kiwi, says Alfia. And also, let's go, says VC. He's been pretty good throughout this game, though. So I feel like, yes, in the past, I mean, a majority of the referees, when you look at their record, you could say that there is the occasional bad game. But I think so far he has called it completely down the middle and he has made all the right decisions throughout the first 25 minutes. So I feel like until he does something wrong, it is what it is, having him as the referee. Rapana has got that one over. So New Zealand now are going to find themselves 8 points to 6 up. And also we have got there, he's taking the kick to put the Kiwis ahead. And a quiet talk of a fixed ref. There's Tony there. Now 25 minutes through. 8 points to New Zealand, 6 to Australia. So the nice lead for the Kiwis in this game. Like I mentioned, Fiji, they were able to get themselves 8 points up against New Zealand. Up against Australia in that first matchup. And then from there, Australia also getting themselves those 42 points alongside it. And up the Kiwi says, Baba kicked off by Tedesco, goes long with that kick downfield. Taken by Jerome Hughes, only 5 metres out from the Kiwi line. Nice attack and run as well. Travojevic, he's been taken off the field. That is for Murray. So that is the second interchange that we're seeing for Australia throughout the first 26 minutes of this contest. I believe both sides will be very strategic with how they do end up using their substitutes for this matchup, because the last thing you want is to gas out early, because both sides are going to play the full 80, I would think, with a high intensity. But New Zealand now third, sitting about 35 metres out from their line. Big run from Joseph Manu, complaining about a high shot. It did catch him on the chin, but then went down from Ben Hunt. Now 40 metres out. They need a big carry here for New Zealand. It's looking like they're going to get just that. Jerome Hughes tries to step on the inside, but Munster and also the number 13, Patrick Carrigan, able to take him down. That is fifth and final. They gain 51 metres there, New Zealand. Kick downfield. Looking for the high ball here. It's going to be taken beautifully by Valentine Holmes. But a good shot put on him by Isaiah Papali'i. And also we have got there through that Hamish substitute-wise. And also just let the time and game do the work. Says Brenda, would you say New Zealand are the dominant side, Hamish? They've had more carry meters throughout this matchup. And also they have had a little bit more territory. But Australia on paper were looking extremely good heading into this matchup. So we'll have to wait and see what they can bring in the rest of this first half. Maybe the second half is when we really see Australia start to build. But Josh Adokar going around the side. It was actually the short side, 40 metres out now. We're on their own line. Going across to the right-hand side, Isaiah Yo. Offload there to it was Cameron Murray, the man who recently made his way on the field as the interchange players. 33 metres gained. We have noticed already the first 10 to 15 minutes, both sides making 60 metres or so. Now both sides only making the 30. It just shows how close that these two sides can be and how important those kicks are on sixth to be able to make sure you get plenty of meterage, force your opposition back a bit further. And I really feel like Samoa's got this in the bag. Says Brenda there, and also, yes, David, but they are. But Australia score easier. Says Richard there. Another offload from New Zealand, keeping that streak alive of probably 10 offloads in the first 28 minutes. Yeah, Hamish, they look good on paper as usual, says David. And there as well. Now New Zealand going back. Good shot put in there by Australia's defence. Also, they are just talking about another change that New Zealand have made. That is Asafa Solomona on the field for Fisher Harris. 46 metres gained in that fifth set. Or another set, sorry, for the Kiwis. Josh Adokar waits for it, takes it nicely. 10 metres out from his line. What can he do? He's being driven backwards by Nakura, who now puts him only 5 metres out from the Kangaroos line, going off to the right-hand side. James Tedesco almost able to pierce through, but Rapana slows him down. And Hamish, what's the territory sets for Kangaroos, please, boss? Says Nate in there. One moment. I'll see if I can find it. We'll go like this. It should have it somewhere here, surely. In the stats, team stats. Okay, so the territory, they don't actually have, interestingly enough, but now it's down the wing. Australia with another opportunity. Liam Martin stripped down by his collar, but the possession stats at the moment are 55% in favour of New Zealand, so I believe territory would be somewhere along those same lines. Now, up to fourth tackle here for Australia, Tedesco. Ball on the outside. In fact, he goes inside instead. Gives it off to Munster. Almost able to go through. 20 metres out from the line now for Australia. Now off to Nathan Cleary. One more great step from Crichton. He's been dragged down somehow, but he found a beautiful offload. And Australia, they're going to check this one, but that may have been an absolutely sensational offload right there from Australia. I mean, Joseph Manu is asking the question. He can ask the question, but the ref's going upstairs anyway, so you might as well just let them do their job, Joseph. Hope for the best. And also, Oosh says Jono Wilson there, and also Australia will still prevail over New Zealand, says Gus William Warpin, and also cheers Hamish, says Nate, and there as well. So they want to check this one to see whether or not this offload has gone massive. And also way more territory, says Kotaku, for the massive continent of Australia. Okay, they're going to look at this one in slow motion speed, I believe I've just heard from the TMO. Okay, is the tackle complete or does the defender fall off? That is the first thing they check and try Australia, possibly a red card for the All Blacks, says Richard in there. Right, so they went low initially, dragged down by Joseph Manu, finds that offload. I would say that's gone backwards. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all for Australia. I believe that's going to be another try And also Munster, I don't like hearing that word after South Africa A's disaster. Says not your everyday culture. So they've said because he isn't held, it is fair game there. And Whiten just gets the offload away in time. Referee looking over his shoulder, gives it as the try, and Australia now take the lead. And also we get their penalty. Then reset Aussie scores premeditated. Says the reverse there. Or the Rivers remix, I've just realised it says. And he's playing rugby union now. WF is this game. Says Nate. And also try from David the Mulder. Brilliant one for the Australians to be able to get with 10 minutes left in the first half as well. But it was Nathan Cleary, then to Crichton. Stepped beautifully on the inside. In fact, sorry, it was Whiten, I should say. Jack Whiten there. And then still able to find the offload. And this is just brilliant work. Finds the offload away. And Valentine Home gets to run it in. And also we have got there try given. Not held so card, not needed, says Richard. And also we were there waiting. Good player, says Hanoi. Yeah, he was close to getting it himself. Joseph Manu managed to drag him down pretty much by his collar to stop him. But Valentine Holmes, he was waiting for it on the outside. He received the pass and is able to get it. So both wingers for Australia scoring. And Willie Talo, as says Hooligan, and also commentary, it's more exciting than the game, says Tangata. So anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We are going to be back with plenty more of the Rugby League in the future. We have got the game between England and Samoa taking place later on tonight. And also alongside that, we have got all the matches of Rugby Union that we are covering over the night alongside the women's game. England versus New Zealand, Nathan Cleary. He didn't quite get that one on as clean as he would have liked. It slightly hooked away to the left, so the score will remain 10 points to Australia and 8 to New Zealand now. And who just scored it? It was, in the end, Valentine Holmes, who was able to finish it off for the Australians. Off the great offload of Whiten, though. He needs a lot of credit for that try. And also, we're going to bro, you're better than those wankers on Foxtel, says Anthony. I do appreciate that, Anthony. Thank you very much. Taking the penalty kick. So he's not so smart this early, says Amaru. It did concern me because we knew Australia were going to be able to score a lot of points. I can understand why they did it, though, just to get those early points on the board for a final. But yeah, the New Zealanders, they may come to regret that eventually. Will this be a close game, Hamish? I think so. I think it's only going to be split by less than 10, maybe even 6 or less between the two sides. Nice run forward from Patrick Carrigan. Australia having this ball 15 metres out from their line now. Looking to attack the Kiwi defence. I mean, they should sign you, bro, Foxtel. Although I am not an ex-player, so I feel like that is one thing that would let me down in terms of that. It seems to be on the commentary teams, a majority of them around the world, they are all ex-players. And yeah, I'm surprised they took the 2. So here's Brenda there. And now Australia almost moving up to the halfway line, sitting about 35 metres out from their own line here. Zayo receives it as the first receiver, trying to step through, but a good low tackle made on him by Brandon Smith. Up to fifth and final, 42 metres gained for Australia. That is a good connection downfield. Taken by Joseph Manu, who looks like he's going to wind up and hit it straight at the line, running at Harry Grant. He was sensational throughout the State of Origin competition that we did see between New South Wales and Queensland a little bit earlier on in the year. Rapana, though, now has been held. We're firing the ball back. Jerome Hughes gives it off to the left. Attacking run from Peter Hiku makes a few extra post-contact meters, which is actually something we haven't seen a huge amount of throughout this contest. It does seem to be that most sides making their tackle low and hard, stopping those extra few meters being made. Good tackle made on a Sofa Mona. Australia stopping him in his tracks now 40 metres out from their own line here. The Kiwis moving up to the halfway line. Good shot on Papali'i. Manages to find the offload though, and Australia able to shut it down before another offload is made. That is going to be now 4th for the Kiwis. Joseph Manu running sideways, gives it off to Jerome Hughes. Skip pass. Kiwis have numbers on the outside if they decide to use Rapana, but good attack and run there. Now 40 metres out from the line, 5th and final, 59 metres gained. Jerome Hughes puts it high. Waiting for this one to come down. It's going to bounce. And New Zealand anticipate. Oh, Jesse Bromwich. He thought he was getting an extra couple seconds on that one to just be able to take it and run it in. But Australia do well. I believe it was Valentine Holmes was able to get onto it. It looks like Bromwich might have injured himself in the process, perhaps. And also, wherever there you go, Joey says content. And also, cheers, Hamish, for a good one. And good luck to the ABs. Says, not your everyday cultists there, and keep your eye on the ball. I will try my best in the cricket game later on to try and at least hit the thing once. Anyone got contacts with Spark Sport? Get this man his deserved contract. Says, not your everyday cultist. Maybe one day. For now, though, I think I'm pretty happy with where we are. Oh, my voice doesn't sound like it's very happy, though. It seems like it's going to cut out before the end of this live stream. Munster now, good attacking run for Australia. That's going to be 5th and final once again, 54 metres gained. So as I mentioned, the two sides only making 30 metres. It seems like they're starting to make a lot more now between them. Addo-Carr way through it. Bounces again. Everyone is just willing to let this ball bounce. It's a dangerous one. The ball's shaped like an oval, so you're never going to get a true bounce. And that is why it could be such a risky tactic from both of these sides. Now, nice run forward from Nicole Cluxton, sitting 20 metres out from their line. That was the tackle by Carrigan. Now Pearson through Pana. Seems like New Zealand having a competition with who has got the brightest budgie smugglers. We've already seen someone have their shorts ripped off in this contest. Nice run from Joseph Manu and Morning Bro. Great game so far. It certainly has been a very close one between these two sides. Another attack and run. That was Isaac Liu to come off the bench as one of the interchange players. 50 metres gained again from New Zealand for their 5 tackles. And Joseph Manu will be chasing after this one eagerly, I would think, but it's going to be down instead. Nakura takes it. I think Addo-Carr may have taken a knee on the top of the head in that one, but it looks like he's going to get up. Luckily, he's got some frizzy hair on top to be able to protect his head from any serious damage. 5 metres left in the first half. Australia 20 metres out from their line, going off to the right-hand side. Another big attacking run from Crichton. New Zealand, they've been making a majority of their tackles. It's when Australia throw that unorthodox style at the Kiwis that it seems to be a little bit harder to defend. And as we're seeing right there, Whiten has certainly got the ability to be able to turn that on in an instant. And also, or an instant, I should say, every day even, says Richard. Now back across to the left-hand side. Australia, Zaya Yo tries to go up the middle. And he's taken down the Panther representative by 4 Kiwi players. Fifth and final 37 metres game for Australia there. Back into the pocket. Nathan Cleary will put this one extremely high. He's got the torpedo punt. This is always a tough one to take. Joseph Manu just hangs onto it. And Tedesco misses the tackle. Now Munster has to make it. But that torpedo, anytime that Cleary sends that up, you can just tell that the heart starts to sink for the man who has to try and take it. But Joseph Manu, he's done well to take that one as cleanly as he did. Jerome Hughes, 30 metres out from the line now, goes off to the left-hand side for New Zealand. Good tackle made by Isaiah Yo. And also, I believe it would have been Harry Grant now. Nice step there from Asafa Solomona, I should say, muscling up with the Australians. Now back again. Left-hand side for Australia. Looks like there's a little bit of a gap in the defence. And now Mulitalo pins the ears back. Down the wing, inside ball. And New Zealand will get themselves another. This time it's the skipper, Bromwich. No, it's not. It's Brown. Dylan Brown gets the try. I think it's because normally we're used to seeing Bromwich with the mustache even before November. And now Dylan Brown gets the inside ball. Joseph Manu, stop asking the ref for things. You know, give them your Christmas list after the game. But for now, New Zealand getting themselves the lead for this contest. 12 points to 10. And come on, the Kiwis, Black Ferns, and the ABs. Says Sweet as there. Thank you very much for the donation, mate. Hugely appreciated. And then see you tonight. Not everything. Have a good day, says Richard. And also we have here and D-Bags, says Bubba in there. But New Zealand going off to the left-hand side. I mentioned that the gap started opening up. I believe they're talking about that cheap shot, maybe from Valentine Holmes. The fact that he rushed up. Really put in a big shot, but Dylan Brown scores a try for the Kiwis. Yeah, the draw and pass was very strong. And as you look about 25, that mustache is great, says Roof. Okay, I'll take 25. I'm coming up 23. But I guess if I look slightly older than I am, that's not a bad thing in a way. It means that I don't get ID'd for pies in the future. Hopefully that was reference to something earlier on in the stream. But, yeah. I guess that's the thing. I haven't actually shaved this part. I probably need to for Movember. I think I've been leaving it because it doesn't normally grow. So I've been hoping that if I leave it there, it will continue to grow. But yeah, we might just be a mustached man. You know what? Oh, actually, I got cricket, don't I? If New Zealand... Oh, no, I'm not going to add anything because I know that if I put any type of forfeit on this live stream, then New Zealand are going to go downhill. The score now total is your age, says Katoko. Very true. 22 years of age. A kick to come now for the Kiwis, though, to make it that I age an extra 2 years, possibly here. Rapana about to line up this kick, and it looks like whoever gets to the wing scores. Yeah, at this stage, it seems to be a very good tactic, is just fire it out wide, and how's it Sweet as are looking good there. Greetings from Cape Town, says it was Roof, and the chat as well. And also, cheers, Sweet as, says Nate, a little bit earlier on. Did I miss Sweet as's comment? Where is Sweet as's one? That's going to go over. 14 points to 10 now. I don't see Sweet as's comment. Oh, no, I do. It was the donation. Never mind. I'm just silly. That was a brain fade, wasn't it? And Katoku, you went to Monrad A. And also we get the roof guard. Have you met Hamish? He's a Libra. He likes walks on the beach, sports, and Lionel Richie. Do I? I mean, I can say yes to him. To be fair, you probably at a stretch could say yes to all three of them. Lionel Richie got some bangers from back in the day. Jerome Hughes takes it nicely there. Now 20 metres out from line. Come on, Kiwi from France. Says Calagero there. Now back across New Zealand, still attacking the line. 1 minute left in this first half. And if New Zealand can go into halftime with a 4-point lead, that would certainly be a big win for the Kiwis. This is already the most points we've seen anyone score against Australia throughout this Rugby League World Cup, almost by double. Now, big run forward from Asafa Solomona. Says one of the Australian players rolling backwards. I believe Cameron Murray had to practice the form for the backwards roly-poly. And Manu with the carry. That is going to be fifth and final now for the Kiwi. And how's it, Roof? Says Sweet doesn't need the Kiwis to win this for the Mana, says Bubba. Now it's kicked downfield. Josh Adokar lines it up, takes it nicely. Considered the passing option, but I believe Australia will just look to close out this half now with a 4-point deficit. And how's the Kiwis looking, bro? A lot better than any other game we've seen from the Kiwis so far throughout this Rugby League World Cup. It's as if they have pretty much waited until this game to really show up. Now it's going to be taken down. It's a set restart against the Kiwis now around the side. James Tedesco attack and run, almost breaking through, but he's lined up in that challenge. And that will be halftime, I believe, in this contest. Yes, it is. And that is going to make the score 14 points to 10. New Zealand go into the break as the slight favourites in terms of the deficit of points, but who knows how it goes. And also, Roof Amish is a real nice guy. Since when does it's become an online dating service in my chat by the sounds of it. And also, we get the Aussie refs know how to manipulate defence. They know how to turn a blind eye. They know how to make no calls. They know when to give penalties and resets. It's the only thing Australian refs are skillful, says River Remix. I mean, to be fair, throughout this first half, I think this ref has done very well. Yes, he may be from Australia, so I think that makes it a little bit harder for some people to, I guess, think he will be neutral. But yeah, I think he's done very well. That first day to tip Australia, says Sam. And also we have got the defence looking strong, and it will be a close game. And I'm out, says Nate. And also Kiwis will win this thing. And it's from South Africa. And also Shot was trying to find somewhere to listen to the game, says Josh in there. So yeah, we are going to be back for the Samoa versus England game as well a little bit later on in the day. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Like I mentioned, we're on the road to 20,000. And we are well and truly getting there closer and closer each day, and a lot earlier than we anticipated. We've got to get that 20,000 subscriber special filmed at some stage. So I might have to, I don't know how I'm going to do that. We need Isaac down here, so we've got to wait maybe till Christmas before he can come down. So theoretically, if we hit it around there somewhere, would be successful. Ron, also, Roof, where are you from? Says Richard. And also, no, I haven't yet. Tony Martinez, there's still hope. Libra males are pretty hot stuff, says Roof Carter. And the chat as well, they are just showing the little bit of hype package, I guess you could say, for Israel Adesanya versus Pereira that is taking place this weekend. It's going to be an awesome fight card. Can someone link me free live stream, please? Says yes, but unfortunately, there's not too many options to be able to watch it for free around the world. Sadly, other than maybe Fox in Australia, if you've got a VPN. Can you show the game played on the screen, says Sam? Sadly, due to copyright, if we show any match footage or audio, we get taken straight off YouTube, sadly. So I do apologize for that. We even, last match that we did between Tonga and also Samoa, we got a copyright strike even for not showing the game. So it just shows you that, I guess, there is a very strict protocol that they follow for the copyright rules. And yeah, if you try and break them at all, you end up disappearing for a little while. I'm here to watch New Zealand win the game. South African living in Mexico, says George Marty there, and also need New Zealand to win. And also we have got, in the chat, can you give me a scream and a celebration if the Kiwis win? I'll try my best. I mean, my voice by then might have almost disappeared. Welcome to Kiwi Land. Amish likes Fanta. I do indeed like Fanta. And also, Richard, I'm from Cape Town, South Africa, way down Southern Hemisphere way. I'm Libra, and I don't stop the flow, says Katuku in the chat as well. But looking through at some of the stats for this first half, we did see a little bit more possession in favour of the Kiwis. Only just 53%. Time and possession, 14 minutes for New Zealand, 12 minutes, 25 for Australia. The completion rate has been very high for both of these sides. 94% of the sets complete for New Zealand, 18 from 19, compared to Australia, who are 88%, still very high, 15 from 17 sets completed so far from Australia. The total running meters for New Zealand, they've just managed to tick up the 1,000, 1,003, Australia 873, whereas post-contact meters a lot closer, only 2 meters split them, 261 for New Zealand and 259 for the Kangaroos. Tackle breaks, we've seen more from New Zealand. Average set distance hardly can split them as well, only about a meter's difference, both making around that 51, 52 meter mark. And then also the kick return meters are actually very even as well. So pretty much everything in this game looks relatively even, other than when you look down a bit further at the offload stats. 13 offloads from New Zealand compared to the 3 that we've seen from the Australians, and that is something that has allowed New Zealand to get those extra meters. And I'm in Perth. It's 4:30 a.m. and the beers are cold, says Josh Yates. So you've got yourself a long weekend ahead of yourself. Are you going to be watching the Australia game when they do end up playing this weekend? Who are Australia playing in the rugby union side of things? I think they are versing... Who have Australia got? They've already played up against France. Have they got England this weekend? No, I don't think it's England yet, is it? And I was going to tube and bend it into a shape, into a U shape and look inside. Says Duncan and also thanks for the critical info, David the Mild Fanta. Orange or grape? Or it's got to be orange. Although I haven't actually had grape, I guess. And also Italy, says Darren. And also we have got their Kangaroos. Thought they had this easy Kiwis playing this to win it, says Nate. And yeah, it's certainly an awesome performance that we've seen so far from New Zealand. The best of the Rugby League World Cup up till this point. I'm actually going to have a quick look at the odds. I know that before this game, New Zealand were $4 underdogs to be able to go on and win this game. Now I would say it's a little bit closer. Maybe New Zealand sitting as, I'd say they'll still be underdogs. Yeah, $2.55 underdogs for this matchup, New Zealand to be able to win it. But Australia are not too far off, I don't think, making a bit more of a comeback in this contest. They normally start a second half pretty well. They score a majority of their points early on in the game, but early on in the second half is certainly still an option for them as well. And also we've got the Kia Kaha at Kiwi Brothers, says Mike and Kiwis led in both Aussie tries on the last tackle. Disappointing, says Cooper Cronk in New Zealand. You can do it, says King Kong Kong in the chat. So I guess try prediction, ladies and gentlemen. First try scorer of the second half. Who do you guys think will be able to get themselves that early try? The play-by-play, though, we have seen a try made by Dylan Brown. Valentine Holmes was able to score for the Australians alongside Josh Adokar, and then the early try of the match was scored by Jerome Hughes. That was in about the 12th minute of the contest, and since then, New Zealand still been very strong on defence, but that Josh Adokar for me has to be try of the contest so far. The cross kick was pinpoint accurate and managed to get it just into the hands of Josh Adokar, who was flying forward. The Fox, says Darren Holiday, so he thinks maybe Adokar could be working his way towards a double and maybe even a hat trick in this game. I wouldn't be surprised. That man can certainly score tries in a hurry when he needs to. But Dylan Brown scoring that try for the Kiwis right at the end of the first half certainly would have given them a bit more confidence in there. The missed tackles, 11 from New Zealand, 16 from the Kangaroos, and the Kangaroos yet to give away one penalty in this contest. Richard, my father from Shropshire, sorry. UK, been living there 7 years and 90s. Fantastic Xmas and New Year's there. And what games are you covering? And the great commentary, a better commentary than the ones on TV, says Kevin there. Do appreciate that a lot. So the other games that we have got of this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, will be as follows. The first game that we are doing later on today will be the Women's World Cup final between New Zealand and England. That is a 7:30 p.m. kickoff here in New Zealand. It will be myself and it will be my mum doing the commentary for that game. Then the next game after that, I believe, is going to be Fiji versus Ireland at 2 a.m. Then we are cutting that one off a little bit early to start our Samoa versus England live stream at 3:30 a.m. for the Rugby League World Cup other semi-final. And then alongside that, later on in the day, I believe we've got Wales versus Argentina. And then after that one more, we have got South Africa versus France. So we have got a big day. We're going to be up for 24 hours, and we're going to be doing live streams for at least 10 hours of that 24 as well. And early predictions, extra time. It's a possibility. These two sides know how to keep a game close. That is certainly for sure. Kiwis Hard, says Joshua. And anyone have a link stream for the game, says James. If you are in New Zealand, you can find it on Spark Sport. If you get yourself the free trial, you will be able to watch this game. And also Samoa versus England for free. And this is incredible. After Aussie's dominance so far in the comp, Kiwis up at half. Incredible mean, says Kotoku there. And also New Zealand Rugby League World Cup. Rugby League World Cup quick to post the Aussie try, but none of the Kiwis tries in your soldier. Hamish, says Joshua, and good luck. Well, says Darren there. Lightning and thunder plus heavy rain here. And a Wellies at the moment go the Kiwis, and it's halftime. Well, it's halftime gone. It is still a part of halftime. as we currently sit. So Australia making 140 tackles in that first half compared to the 134 in New Zealand. And why can't we see the game? Pretty much it is down to copyright. If we were to show any match footage or audio, we end up getting taken straight off YouTube and banned for 3 months from doing any live streams. You are allowed to do it this way, though, of doing the commentary. We just can't show match footage. But straight after the game of the Rugby League World Cup YouTube channel, we'll have the highlights of the match. If you want to catch it live, you've got Spark Sport, Foxtel, and also Sky Sport UK are your other options of being able to watch the game. Also, did you see that guy that ripped the pink sticker off his windshield on camera and went told not to on 10-7 Aotearoa a few weeks ago? I have not watched that show in a very long time. And also, what time are you doing the women's game? It will be 7:25 start time for ourselves, and we will be going right through to about 9:30 or so, somewhere around there. And if Kiwis win, let's parade down at Queen Street, says Loki. And yeah, it will certainly be a massive accomplishment, I should say, for New Zealand. But this game is not over yet. Australia could fire back very soon in this contest. Go the Kiwis, says RC. An awesome half of rugby league. Speed was incredible. Fingers crossed for the second half, says commentary talk. And also, who's playing the women? It is going to be New Zealand versus England. So a matchup that could be a prelim of the Men's Rugby League World Cup final if New Zealand win and if England win. But it's still going to be tough, like I mentioned. I've still got my doubts, just a little bit. You know, I don't want to get too confident at this stage of the matchup with only the 4 points difference, because if Australia score first, and they can certainly make a big impact. And also, who scored for the Kiwis? It was, in the end, Dylan Brown. And also, the first try of the match was scored by Jerome Hughes. And who's seen all the Samoa's flags while driving lately? And Hughes and Brown, says commentary talk, and Kiwis all the way, says off fear them, bro, I'm going off if the Kiwis catch the dub. And BBC UK, not Sky. Okay, so it's on BBC rather than Sky in the UK. And also Fox Aussie talking heads talking up the Kiwis. This could be an upset, says Tony there. And go Matima Atonga. Hopefully I've said that correctly from Anna there in the chat as well. But yeah, the next game that is taking place, it will be at 3:30 a.m. New Zealand time. That will be Samoa versus England for a spot in the Rugby League World Cup final. Looking through at the way that the group stage for both of these games went, or both of these sides went, sorry. As you can see, New Zealand and Australia, both undefeated up till this stage in the competition. Someone is going to, unfortunately, go home at this stage of the match. I know that New Zealand have already got their flights booked home for the day after the semi-final. They may have to cancel them if the match stays the way that it is going. But Australia, with their points differential of plus 178, that is why they cannot be underestimated, because they have scored a lot of points up against the Fijians, the Italians, the Scottish, and also the Lebanese, which was a game that New Zealand had during their group stage. We were only able to win it by about that 20-point margin. But New Zealand, they can still score a lot of points as well. As you can see, they're plus 122 as the points differential. It is anyone's game in the second half, which is why it is going to be so entertaining. Slice of heaven blasting if New Zealand wins, says Jacob. And also, we have got there to say it was free on Spark Sport. I am in South Africa wanting to use a VPN, says Darren. So if you've got a VPN, Spark Sport have got themselves a 7-day free trial. So you could end up signing up for that free trial. The only problem would be you wouldn't be able to watch the final, as it would be just outside of your free trial period, unless, of course, you sign up with a different account and get a free trial on that one as well. What is the score, says Josh? At the moment, 14 points for New Zealand, 10 for the Australians. It'll be interesting to see if the Kiwis can win. Come on, the Kiwis, let's get it done, says Max. And organisers will have to pay 10K for each ticket if New Zealand's win, or if the Kiwis win, says Loki. And also, the Kiwis suck, says Jenny in there. So I assume you are going for Australia in this game, Jenny. And you will be hoping they can fire back in the second half. And the Kiwis think they are the best. What a joke. Dream on, Kiwis, says Jenny. And also, there, bro, who are you? My name's Hamish. Nice to meet you, my Rastafa. Hopefully I said that correctly. And also on the screen, my guy, says Nate. And also we have got there, thank you so much, says Darren. And also Kiwi versus Palm in the final, says Zioni there. It's certainly a possibility. Imagine New Zealand versus Samoa in the final. The two sides coming in as underdogs in their semi-finals. If they both won, and that would be a massive, massive, massive final if that was the case. But still could be the case of an Australia versus England final. That is still a probability. And Kiwi versus Samoa, says Mike Brown. And also we have got their first time. We need Kiwis versus Samoa, says Mari Legacy. And Kiwis or Samoa versus the Kangaroos in the final, says Tangata. And go the Black Ferns tonight. And there, so yeah, they have got their big game up against the English, which they will be looking to close out. And Jenny, group hug for you, says Aotearoa made there. Now just waiting for the second half to get underway. We aren't too far away, I wouldn't think. I think that there we go. The two sides making their way out of the tunnel. And we are just about to see a second 40 minutes of exciting action between these two sides. Best players in the first half for me, you'd have to say, the Foxato card certainly up there. I thought Jack Whiten did very well for the Australians, and also alongside him, you would have to say, hey, we've got a super sticker from Katuku. Thank you very much, mate. It comes through as super sticker on the screen, but we can see it on the live stream outside of that, I should say. So thank you very much for that super sticker, mate. And also, if my maths is correct, we should win 20 points to 28, says Josh Gates. So you just doubled it, did you? I feel like, it's a decent tactic. Go and let's go to Kiwis, says the Rona there, and also sitting in pack and saving the car park. Let's go Aotearoa, says Cookie Cam, and let's hope New Zealand win just to rub it in the faces of the organisers who booked their tickets home, says Shade. And let's go to Kiwis, says Jimmy, and also hey, howdy, hey, yo, from Katie Dixon there. Welcome in. Hope you are doing very well on this fine morning here in New Zealand. And my stuff as in main commentary. Thank you very much, mate. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're going to be back with plenty more of the Rugby League in the near future, including Samoa versus England. If you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Second half just about to get underway. It will be Jordan Rapana who does kick us off. And the second 40 is now here, ladies and gentlemen. New Zealand with a 4-point lead. And it's going to be taken nicely by Carrigan. Throws himself at the line. So New Zealand, they need to make sure that the defence stays as solid as it was in that first half if they want any chance of being able to get themselves the victory. But now going off to the right-hand side for Australia, another big attack and run from the Kangaroos, sitting 22 metres out from their line. I think the draw and pass is definitely going to be the key for both of the sides. We've seen anytime there's that little flick pass out the back or the offloading from New Zealand was certainly effective in that first half. James Tedesco moves his way up to 40 metres out from the Aussie line. And let's go the mighty Kiwis, says Road Runner. And there as well, now up to halfway, Isaiah with another carry. That will be fifth and final for Australia. Decent first set, making 52 metres. Now kicked off from Nathan Cleary, waiting for this one behind it is Mulitalo. Takes it nicely, is able to clean it up. Whiten makes the tackle on him. Now 40 metres to go till they get to the halfway line. That is the minimum amount of metres that the Kiwis want to probably make here. And who's leading? Can someone please give me the score? It is currently 14 points to New Zealand and 10 to Australia. And good conditions tonight for the offload game to produce unorthodox tactics versus the Aussies. And there, as RC's commentary talk. Now charging for Joseph Manu, I should say. And yeah, I'm glad that this game was not affected by rain. Because if it was, I feel like it could have been a whole different story. Now a nice run from Jerome Hughes gives it off on the short side to Moses Leota. It's going to be fifth and final, only the 20 metres game for New Zealand there, so nowhere near as many as they would have liked. Jerome Hughes kicks it downfield. They allow it to bounce the Australians. James Tedesco has that ball set up. The Roosters fullback now trying to make his way through a Sofa Solomon. And normally that is not very easy to do. That man is built like a very solid brick wall. Now Edo Carr, the quick stepping of him, he is normally extremely dangerous. We saw that in the first half when he scored himself the first try of the match for the Australians of a cross kick that he made look extremely easy. Now Carrigan, another attacking run from Patrick. Almost up to the halfway line now for Australia. In fact, now they're into the half. That's going to be a nice attacking run from Harry Grant. Goes off to the right-hand side now. Tedesco joining the line now. The draw and pass didn't quite work out. It's going to be now a tackle restart for the Australians, or is it? No, they've said that he hasn't played at the ball. Oh, no, now they have said he's played at the ball. That is going to be 0. So now Australia, they've got a set of 6, only 25 metres out from the Kiwis line. Nathan Cleary almost snipes through, but a Sofa Solomona helps make the tackle there alongside the number 17. That's another set restart. Australia now really building the momentum. Liam Martin hits it up at the line. It's a knock-on. That is massive for the Kiwis. They have a hug with the player in between them. And also the Kiwis sucks, says Jenny. And now I mean to Samoa England game. Sorry, does anyone know this the new age? One moment, I will go back and have a look. When is the Samoa England game? It is a 3:30 a.m. kickoff here in New Zealand. So yeah, it's going to be a late one. That almost looked like it was knocked out of his hand by Moses Leota, but they haven't captains challenged that. And we are so much better than everyone, says Jenny. I assume you are talking Australia, Jenny. You haven't quite told us where you're from yet. And also Kiwi's going to gain territory on this 6, says commentary talk. And also we have got yes, says Katoku, and also go Jenny, says Danny in the chat. And 2 restarts. Yeah, initially it was actually the hand of the Kiwi that got on the ball, so it did restart to 0. And then from there, the Australians were held down a little bit longer than they should have been. So that is why the set restart came. And then New Zealand managed to get themselves that little knock on the ground. Kiwi, baby, let's go. So here's Tupou there. It's going to be the second tackle made for the Kiwis. Almost a set restart there, sitting 25 metres out from their line. Another big run from Isaac Liu. And I'll say he isn't in there. There's commentary talk. Now across to the left-hand side, a Safa Solomon. A good low tackle made by Nathan Cleary there. Now off to the right. New Zealand making their way up to the halfway line, fifth and final. That was Joseph Manu's carry. They will have to kick this one. I believe Jerome Hughes will be trying to put this one extremely high if he can get it right. And he has done just that. It's going to be a tough one to take. Oh, a Kiwi player might have been taken off the ball. Almost taken away. Carr lets it bounce and hit him in the chest. Leota finds the offload. Class from New Zealand. A mistake from the Fox. Leads to New Zealand getting the try. They're going to have to check this one, though, because a lot just went on in that very short moment. So they're going to be going upstairs. Josh Adokar allowed the ball to smack him in the chest because he didn't want to try and catch it. And then from there, New Zealand able to pick it up. They went for the offload. And it might be the try here for Peter Hiku. They're going to have to check it, though. There is a lot to look at. Is it 4:20 time yet, says Peter? It's currently 9:50 a.m. here in New Zealand, so it might be a little bit early in that regard. And also New Zealand, and also the Kiwis try, says Bubba. But Peter Hiku, he might have scored this one. They're going to have to check this one. And Ashley Klein of Let's Ruin This Game as much as possible fame, says James in there. And that's a try, says commentary talk. Oh, they want to check this one to see if he's onside. It's extremely close. It's flat. And pies on me if New Zealand wins, says Tizer. Okay, one of the players did not have both feet behind the ball, so they want to check the involvement in the play. He is involved. I believe they're going to call this as offside against New Zealand, and it will be called as a no try, which is going to be disappointing for New Zealand because that was an absolutely sensational offload. But yeah, it does seem like New Zealand are going to find themselves with the no try. The crowd are disappointed, but Australia certainly won't be. And Amish's commentary is so descriptive. It's like I'm at the stadium, says Dean Williams. And there's, anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We have got the game coming up later on tonight between between England and Samoa. That is a massive clash, and we will be doing that one on the channel as well. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're on the road to 20,000, and we are getting there closer and closer every single day. If you do want to help us out, it is hugely appreciated. Now, like they said, Moses Leota, it's a shame for him. He did so well in that one, but now big attack and run from Carrigan. And also we have got the, obviously, Kiwis. And so, sorry, says Jenny in there. And also we've got there, surely, says Brenda, OFFS, says Loki. And I need Hiku Amarapana, says Brenda there. Now another step from Cameron Murray. Makes himself a little bit closer to the halfway line now for Australia. As they look to continue attacking. Zaya goes to Cleary. Seems like Australia have almost decided to flick that switch where they start to go for a few more offloads. Zaya now passes back across. One more. James Tedesco bounces out of the tackle with Molitalo. Now has been taken down. New Zealand rushing back to the 10-metre line. The last thing they want is another set restart or an offside called against them. Now another offload, almost coming from Nathan Cleary. Ducks under the challenge. Now has been taken down 20 metres out from the line. He's knocked it on as well. So New Zealand now will have the ball and the players are all breaking out. It's going to be maybe some handbags thrown here. It looks like Liam Martin trying to get right in the face of Peter Hiku. Everyone has tensions high in this Trans-Tasman rivalry match. And I'm on shrooms later. Okay. And also I'll be able to get off the ceiling in time for England versus Samoa. And also Country Bro says Ray. And also we have got there, and have you been approached by any TV commentary teams? None at all. It is just myself at this stage on the Kiwi Lads channel. But yeah, we've been doing this consistently for a couple of years. So anyone who does enjoy either rugby league, rugby union, rugby sevens, we've got it all on the channel. A little bit of cricket as well. Good commentary. Thanks, bro. Says Danny. And there as well. But yeah, the big push from Cameron Murray, and then that kind of set everyone off. Australia getting frustrated, says Cooper Cronk, and also 555 says Nate. We need this win, baby, says Bubba. My voice is disappearing. Cameron Murray on Papali'i, says Giles, and also a great channel, says Commentary Talk. And there as well. Yeah, the big push and shove between the two sides, and they didn't really know who was starting it, but a lot of players wanted to be the ones who were finishing it. That is for sure. Oh. Okay, Cameron Murray, I think, is just getting told off a little bit. He was the one who instigated the whole thing. And also, we've got there, what do you like best, union or league, says Peter. I've probably been following rugby union a bit longer, so it is easy for me to say union, but I certainly love rugby league as well. Like, as we've gone through the Rugby League World Cup, also the end of the NRL season. I found quite a passion for it. Overall, it's just been very handy when it comes to live streams because like being able to do these games has been a breeze, really. Being able to keep on going. And come on, Kiwis, maintain that momentum, that edge. Says David the Mod, and also we've got the lads stop. If Hamish was on TV, we would never see him. Says Richard in there. Now 47 minutes into this contest now, and New Zealand have themselves the ball, and Lee grows on UC's commentary talk. And they're up to the halfway line. Asafa Solomon, another big carry forward for New Zealand. They are looking to try and make the absolute most of this opportunity. We have the greatest rugby league players ever, says Jenny in there. They will be certainly hoping that those great rugby league players can get back into this contest, sitting 10 points to 14 down at the moment. And also tactics stopping momentum. Now sitting 25 metres out from the line. New Zealand going off to the left-hand side. The drawn pass looking good. Isaac Liu getting involved. Joseph Manu. Ball on the outside. It's a lobby one. So it was a hard one to keep in the field of play. But it's actually Dylan Brown. Now has this ball. It's up to fourth. New Zealand looking for the cross kick, considering it anyway. Now Smith tries to pierce through. That will be fifth and final now. He tries to recycle it as quickly as possible. Now New Zealand going off to the side. Jerome Hughes with the drawn pass. Peter Hiku wasn't able to find that offload. That is going to be now the handover. And also we have got there Latrell, says Annoy. And also, are you sure looking like the best, says Cooper Cronk. And also, your head is too big. That's interesting because normally I get told that my head is too small. So that is, I guess, a reverse one. That almost gives me more confidence. Thank you very much for yourself, Tatapo or Tapua. I think I've said that wrong, haven't I? NFL's good as well. Go Finns. But yeah, I have to find like special, or not special headphones, but it's hard to find headphones that fit because my head is very straight up and down, isn't it? There's a few gaps. Maybe because my brain's so small. Now it's going to be kicked in behind from Nathan Cleary. Nicely taken there by New Zealand, 20 metres out from the line. Joseph Manu looking to run this one back. It's big contact between him and Martin and Carrigan. And also we have got there about to watch on Channel 3 New Zealand. Thanks for the first half and a bit of the second half, bro. Thanks for the commentary, bro. Cheer chat, says Cookie. So hopefully you do end up enjoying the game, mate. And enjoy the last 30 minutes of the contest. Now fired back across. Going to be another big run from New Zealand, sitting on third at the moment. Great commentary, says Hammy Henry. And also grind arm wrestle right now. Who blinks first loses, says commentary there. Now back across. New Zealand almost moving up to the halfway line. Nicely done by New Zealand. Liu once again goes forward. And also we get the New Zealand the best. And you're awesome, says Tapua. You've changed your mind very quickly. And are New Zealand looking good or just hanging on? I think they're still looking good. But the thing is, anytime you're playing up against a side like Australia, you always feel like you're hanging on. Wow, Adokar would have felt that one. That was right around the Chester area. And also got him, says Scrumless. And also we have got their no tries in the first 8 minutes. Sheesh. And Kiwis all day. That is another massive shot on James Tedesco by Asafa Solomon. A bit of a size difference between those two. The physicality in this game looks like it is just about to ramp up well and truly. Boom. Straight on the shoulder of Adokar. Now another big run. Where is Latrell Mitchell? I just realised we have hardly seen him throughout this matchup. I assume he's one of the interchange players who has gone off, unless he's just been very, very quiet. Is that Latrell out wide? Maybe it is, but that is going to be the last tackle now. Yeah, Latrell is still out there on the field. We've just hardly seen him. Now kicked him behind. Going high, New Zealand. Nicely taken by Rapana, who now will hit it back up at the line. Big fend on Munster on the head, but he is tackled by Murray. And Aussie amateur commentary, is that good? I don't need to watch YouTube replays because I haven't missed anything, says David. And as I do appreciate that a lot. And Tayana has sent me the wife enjoying your commentary, bro. Yeah, hugely appreciate it. Anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We are currently sitting on 19,245, I see. Is there a chance we can hit 19,300 by the end of this live stream? Anyone who hasn't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. New Zealand moving up to the halfway line now. Liu, once again, with another good carry. New Zealand making 35 metres in the process. Now it's kicked high from Jerome Hughes. Waiting for this one to come down. Nicely taken by James Tedesco, who will now try and run it back at the line. He slips downwards, unfortunately, for him 20 metres out from the Australian line. They will be looking to go to the left-hand side. Josh Adokar trying to step his way through. New Zealand were offside, though, and it will be the penalty in favour of the Kangaroos. A nice process, Mo. And then also penalty to the Aussie, says commentary talking. New Zealand too conservative on the kick and chase. says Giles D and Justin Marshall's channel is terrible. And also Andy Farrell loves a fist fight, says Nate. And there as well, that one is a brilliant kick downfield from Australia. Now they'll find themselves 35 metres out from New Zealand's line with a very good attack and set. Here comes Latrell Mitchell. Harry Grant playing half. 6 again. Australia really looking to attack this one now with the six extra tackles, I should say. That was an interesting way of my tongue rolling. Now, nice drawn pass from Cleary. Short ball from Munster. Australia moving up to 7 metres out from the line and still with 3 tackles up their sleeve. Grant goes himself, gives it off to Cleary, who runs straight at Fisher Harris, who has been able to shut him down. Or they slow down the play, almost giving away another 6 again. Now Grant goes off to the short side to Munster. Now James Tedesco. Tackle well by New Zealand. The defence has been pretty solid throughout this game. It's always on the 5th tackle, though, that the Australians have been able to score. We're up to 4th now. Cleary inside ball as Zaio accelerates. Only a couple metres out now. Held down. Now it could be a play on. Yes, it is. And Australia dropped the ball, but they get the penalty for the New Zealander not being able to roll away quick enough. And now they will have themselves another set of 6. And also we have got there, love the commentary, bro. Says F8, and also we have got there, no Warriors, New Zealand, best chance of winning. And also smashing, bro, says Jimmy Dean. And there's one, here we go, penalty. When we had Aussie on the rope, a penalty and resets. Manipulated, says Rivers Remix. Just woke up. Says he 10 metres out from the line. Australia now, it's over. And it's going to be the try. Cameron Murray goes straight through. And he has been able to score. So New Zealand's discipline, that let them down big time there. That's effectively 18 tackles in a row for the Aussies to convert that Cam Murray try, says commentary. So, yeah, they were holding off well, New Zealand, but when you give away those 6 agains, you give away the offside penalties. Slowly and surely, Australia are going to be able to find their way back into the contest. And also, lawn mowing service, says Carlos, bro, someone tackled that Aussie ref, says Nate there. And also, we have got the Aussie ref coming into play. And also, another penalty, well, says Bubba. And yes, baby, and come on the Aussies, says G-Man. And also, 2 penalties in a reset log try, says Rivers Remix. Come on, boys, says it was there from Nemo. Found you. Finding Nemo. Great movie there. Second one wasn't too bad either, was it? And thank goodness Sean Johnson not there with Crumble, says Anglers, and a ref interfering, says Bubba. And also, I may go Jungle Time, see you all tomorrow, says Richard. And also, we have got the I wish I found you earlier, great call, says Paul. And we have got plenty more coming up a little bit later on in the night. Samoa versus England in the other semi-final of the contest. We will be covering that one on the channel. And alongside that, we have also got a whole heap of rugby union that we are going to be covering on the channel a bit later on tonight as well. And also, Kiwis not hanging on now. They let go. And also, we have got the 2 New Zealand semi-final disappointments in a week. Need to not choke the final tonight, says Peter H. And also, New Zealand needed that first try in the second half, says commentary talking. Yeah, extremely close, but just that little offside did cause them to have that mistake. But now looking at the scoreboard, 16 points to 14 after the successful conversion of Nathan Cleary. We are 54 and a half minutes through this contest, ladies and gentlemen. Still time left on the clock, and it looks like New Zealand have gone to their interchange bench once again. Some deep breaths being taken, though, by some of the players out there on the field. This game has been played at a high tempo, and that will certainly start to be maybe a deciding factor near the end of the contest. 4 resets in a row, says Baba. Yeah, New Zealand, their discipline there let them down big time, and more like 15s, including the bunker, says Licky, and Kiwis need Kane Williamson to go on and slow it down a bit, says Tony. And also, we have got the Queensland connection is going to put the game out of reach for New Zealand. Munster or Grant to score next, and Tino Fa'asua Malawi is on here. Certainly a dangerous player, although straight away he's been driven backwards in the tackle, so New Zealand have pretty much gone, we know who you are, but we don't care. We're going to try and smash you anyway. Now, Carrigan, nice run forward for Australia, sitting 15 metres out from their own line. Aussie ref becoming, because they are real, not fake, says Jenny. And there as well as IAO. Now has a couple extra metres gained. New Zealand need to make sure not to give away a 6 again call, or else that could be absolutely massive against them. And do you think Black Ferns have a chance tonight? They have a chance, but England are going to be tough. They're on about a 30-match winning streak at the moment, the English. So, yeah, to have it broken in a World Cup final, to be honest, would be heartbreaking for the English ladies. That was going to be a big run from Tino Fa'asua Malawi, but he ended up running in behind one of his other players. So he was just willing to sacrifice the tackle. Now, 5th and final, Australia gained 40 metres. Now, taken nicely at the back by Mulitalo. Passes it across for Joseph Manu. The crowd actually saying that one could have been slightly forward in that past the NRL 2023 draw is out. The Warriors' first game is at Sky Stadium. I see it's a 6 p.m. start on a Saturday, I think, isn't it? If I'm not wrong. And also Tino should have been on for the fight season. Or yeah, he would have been keen to get involved in the middle of it. And strike back the Kiwis. Kiwi fullback needs to be aggressive, says Māori Legacy Gaming. Yeah, they need some big hits to really force the Australians back a peg or two in terms of with how hard they're running, because at the moment they're running freely, and I feel like that's something that they certainly need to work on for New Zealand. Just keep that territory as well. And FFS Kiwis not completing their sets. There's commentary talk. Now back across. Joseph Manu's dropped the ball, and now Australia, they're going to have that on their side. Instead, it will be going back for the scrum, though. And strike back, the Kiwi says, Jason, Australia going to win by 12 plus. Says Matthew there. Joseph Manu shot from Tino Fa'asuamanawi, got him right round the ball and set the ball flying out the front. And Joseph Manu, he knew it as soon as it happened. He was disappointed. And also we have got there still time. Come on, Kiwis. And do you want a Kiwi ref? You're right. A joke, says Denny. I think they were more referring to having a neutral ref in terms of someone not from Australia or New Zealand, Jenny, for that one. And also Kiwis could win if they complete their sets in territory, but they'll hand it to the Aussies if not. Says commentary talk and close, tight game. I like it. And just like the Aussie ref, it's a joke, says Kevin Grog. And also money so hot and cold. Take him off, says Jeremy. And I do see that we have had change made. It is Kieran Foran out there on the field. That is for Brandon Smith. But Australia, 45 metres out from the Kiwi line. Once again, Fa'asuamanawi does get tackled by his opposite number, or almost his opposite number, I should say. Nelson Asafa Solomona. Off to the right-hand side. Carrigan hits it up at the line. Currently still another 22 minutes left on the board. Now, nice pass. Oh, it's going to be a knock-on from Australia, though. Out wide, it seemed like the drawing pass was on. Jack Whiten puts the ball down, though, and New Zealand now back in position. It seems like both sides having a few big errors there. That was a great shot in the midsection by Nathan Cleary on Joseph Manu. Now off to the right, New Zealand 20 metres out from the line. Asafa Solomona. He's dropped the ball again. And now everyone is just putting the ball down. Uh-oh, New Zealand getting right in the middle of it. He wants a bit of a tussle, but he's not going to get one. And also just proved our point even more. Says Brenda there. And also we have got there. He is a ref. They are not for the Aussies. They are doing their job. And also Kiwis dropping the ball a lot now, feeling the pressure. I think Australia also got themselves in that a little bit of that scenario. Yeah, it seems like everyone just putting the ball down a bit more often. Once again, great shot from Liam Martin. Oh, they're saying that it could have been just a shoulder charge there. Animate a bit. Move your hands. Good job, says J.A. And there as well. And also we were there. Can't hold on to the ball, says G-Man. And also our hands are worse than the refs, says Combat Sack. And also Latrell prop, says EJ. Does look like he's bulked up a little bit for this Rugby World Cup. I don't know whether or not that is because I haven't seen him too much for the Rabbitohs this year, but I feel like he is looking like he's got a couple extra pounds of muscle on him. And now he's going to have himself a carry as well. Here comes Latrell Mitchell, breaking forward nicely. Looked for the offload, but doesn't find it. In the end, plays the ball quickly. 20 metres out from the line now. Munster goes back to Tino Fa'asuamanawi, taken down nicely by New Zealand. Like they're saying, New Zealand, they could end up paying for some errors here if Australia are able to find themselves over the try line again in this contest. Nice inside ball off to Carrigan, who will sacrifice the tackle because he was straight in behind one of his teammates, Harry Grant. And good commentating, my bro, says Stephen. Thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciate it. Now going off to the left-hand side. One more, the draw past Nathan Cleary. Tackled well. Taken down well by Fisher Harris. Holding him down a bit long there. Got to be careful. You don't want to give away a 6 again. Right now, short side, Eric Grant almost driving over the line, but New Zealand, the leg strength to be able to stop him. Very impressive. But now, Australia, 5th and final. This is where they've scored a majority of their tries throughout the match. Nathan Cleary cross kick. It's going to sit up, ball on the inside, and New Zealand knock it on. It's going to be 6 again, but Munster going to have the carry. Attack and run across field. Gives it off now to the number 17. A player from New Zealand's been taken down, and I believe, is it a New Zealand penalty? I think it is. I think it's a New Zealand penalty. And Oz at $1.15 are now good buying, says Tony. And also we have got there for real. It's a game. Says Jenny and Latrell have been hitting the bush tucker too hard, says Tyler. Good comment. Oh, great commentary, says later. Thank you very much, mate. Anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are only sitting 35 subscribers away from 19,300. So if you're doing it, that subscribe button is hugely appreciated. We're back for the game between England and Samoa that has taken place a little bit later on in the night. That is going to be a 3 a.m. kickoff New Zealand time, and we will be covering that one on the channel as well. So if you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We have got there, need to bring on Henry Paul, and nobody's going to admit it, but the props for you holding it down for your team, See, there's Brenda. That was a shot. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. He's done well to bounce out of it the way he did, Moses Leota. And hello, I'm in the UK, says Eric. Welcome in, mate. Once again, hope you are doing very well. 40 metres out from the line now. 19 minutes on the clock as well for the Kiwis. Trying to bounce out of that tackle. It's Isaiah Papali'i. Almost makes it to the halfway line. Playing the ball there for the Kiwis. They're up to third for the little pop pass up from, I believe that was Brown. Just realised Jesse Bromwich hasn't really been playing too much throughout this game either, or in terms of places where we actually see him. So I guess he's a little bit similar to Latrell. Short ball there. Off into the hands of Nakora. Didn't quite have time to be able to find that pass, but that will be now up to the fourth. It's off for Solomona off the field. That is for Tapini. In fact, that's fifth and final. 40 metres gained. The ball's gone high. Joseph Manu doesn't take it. Tedesco manages to wait for it, and it falls nicely into his hands. Awesome country, Kiwi lads. Great atmosphere, Hamish. See, here's Ruth. And there's now Josh Adokar hitting the ball up. We're sitting on second at the moment for the Aussies. Taken down by Rapana. Yeah, Joseph Manu just didn't really get his hands on the ball. It went straight through, and Tedesco was ready for it just in case that was the case. Oh, we got a triple blow of the whistle here. Wasn't quite played properly. Latrell Mitchell. Oh, that is not smart. Oh, I thought the Kiwis gave away the penalty there for a little bit of push and shove, but luckily for them, it was not the case. Faisal Marawi once again hits the ball up at the line, tackled by Leota, and also was Fisher Harris. Now up to fourth. The Australians trying to build their way out of their own half as IAO with the ball back. Liam Martin unable to find. Now he finds the offload. Keeps it alive. Gives it to his IAO. Wants to keep that ball alive as well. That will be fifth and final now. I must say your commentary is impressive. Says Julia there. Thank you very much. Hugely appreciated. It's going to be kicked in behind. Nathan Cleary hit hard in that kick. Now nicely taken by Joseph Manu. Really testing out the hamstrings with the way that he caught that one. So Carrigan off the field. That is for Travojevic. Making his way back out there, and Harry Grant off the field. That is for Ben Hunt. So 2 changes made more for the Australians, keeping the fresh legs out on the park for the last 17 of the matchup. Oh, it's dropped again. Rapana has lost the ball, and that is disappointing from New Zealand. Their hands seem like they've got holes in them at the moment. Now Hunt got this ball again, 45 metres out from the line in Australia. Another attacking opportunity. Whiten with a nice carry. As IAO is a workhorse, he certainly is. He is for the Panthers, and he certainly is on this Australian side as well. Now Tino Faisal Malawi once again hits it up at the line. Tackled by Fisher Harris. Up to fourth tackle now, going off to the left-hand side. Nice inside ball. Travojevic has his first carry since making his way back off the interchange. And also Kiwis choking again, says Turbo Tom. Yeah, every time they have the chance, they seem to be putting the ball down. Now the back line here. Oh, Munster considered finding the offload, but wasn't able to. And now Butterfingers says EJ there, I should say. Our fifth and final, going off to the right-hand side. Or, in fact, that's the left offload from Cleary. Jake Travojevic. Now Isaiah Lowe, the looping run here. And behind from Angus Crichton, kicks it in behind. New Zealand taking with Mulitalo. But good pressure put on by the Aussies to be able to chase that the way that they did on Rapana. He's a fader. And there, as I says, G-Man, and also, even though I think you're a Kiwi, and you know the names, and that's impressive. Says Jenny there, another big shot on New Zealand, only 5 metres out from their own line now, and they have to try and make a lot of metres in a hurry here. Looks like there might be a bit of an injury, though, to 2 players for the Kiwis. Mulitalo looks like he's limping on one leg. And also, we've got that New Zealand not used to line speed playing easy teams. Says Lowell there. Also, the ref was putting grease on the ball, and when the Kiwis get position, it's obvious, says Tony. And Aussie hates hard works, are always taking their company to court. And who's winning, says Jenny at the moment, 2 points difference. Good shot, though, from Australia and New Zealand. Or Oz tuning the screws. Yeah, late in the game, it seems like they've got a little bit more left in the tank than the Kiwis do. But saying that, when you are only having to defend every once in a while, because like New Zealand get through 2 tackles and then they drop the ball, and then Australia play the ball with about 10 tackles in a row, just with the resets that we've seen. But Mulitalo, he was slow getting back up to his feet, but there were a couple big shots there. First one on number 2, Mulitalo, and then the next one was actually on the number 21, Nicole Clockstead. Currently playing a bit of, I believe that's not unusual at the ground. I'm going to give his lesson. The unforced errors, you got this in New Zealand flags in there, and put $100 on England to win T20. And Aussie League tourney, he returned 445, says Hero there in Golden Point. If it finishes a tie, it certainly would be the case. And that would be a massive one. Great commentary. And also we have got there, and the Hunt, another Samoa, Mark Hunt, KO Oz. And there, yeah, had a good win over Sonny Bill Williams with a massive shot, or a massive 5 shots in a row, really, wasn't it? For him. Currently 15 minutes left. We have just got this injury stoppage. gives us a perfect opportunity to say anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button on the channel. Samoa versus England a little bit later on. You don't want to miss that contest, and we will be covering it on the channel as well. And also, I doubt there will be a tie, says Brenda. Yeah, I guess if it got to that situation, the Kiwis would have to decide whether or not they want to go for the 2 to get it to a draw, or whether they want to go for the full-on win, try and make it through. But I think they would at this stage. I mean, they'd probably take the 2 if the opportunity was there. They're only 15 metres out from their own line, so they've got a long way to go. Hi, says Amelia. Welcome in. If you are doing well, can you please say, if we win Aussie, 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 oi, 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 says Jenny, and also good job, brother, in there from Pate. Or Pate. Is it Pate? Hopefully I've said that correctly. Nicely taken by New Zealand. Few extra metres. They love a set restart, but I don't think Australia have given away any more than maybe 1 if they're lucky. And also, who did Foz replace? Says, well, 1. If we're talking about the New Zealand Rugby Union side of things, he did replace... I believe, who did he replace? It was Steve Hansen, wasn't it? Nice cross kick. Oh, it's dropped again by New Zealand, though. The hands like butter. And now Josh Adokar with an attacking run. The Fox has got pace, but he's taken down just by New Zealand again. Correct, bro, says Pate. And this is awesome, bro. Well done, says Mo, and I'm doing good, says Amelia. That is awesome to hear. Now another run from Australia. Jake Travojevic hits it up at the line, currently 25 metres out. It seems to be now Australia playing all of the territory inside of New Zealand's half as Zaio goes back to Cleary inside border. James Tedesco, the skipper of the Kangaroos, he'll be looking to get himself a try before the end of this game, perhaps. Now up to the 4th tackle here for the Australians. Another step, Cameron Munster taken down. Oh, there's going to be 4th. And also we have got their bad hands costing them now. And Aussie, from Jenny now. Ball on the outside of Crichton. Have found that offload to Adokar. Could have been over for a second try of the match for Adokar. But now across 57 metres gained. It's going to be passed across by Munster. 1 more to Cleary. The little chip and chase. New Zealand able to clean it up. And knowing them, they'll drop it very soon. Nicely cleaned up by Rapana, though, who's done well. Daniel from South Africa says, Danny Duprea, welcome into the live stream, mate. Australia actually winning, says Dashan. They are currently 16 points to 14 in the lead. Folau was a monster. One-man army would win any game, says commentary talk. Now another big carry from New Zealand. I believe Kieran Foran involved in that one. 13 minutes left in the contest. Now off to the right-hand side. Fisher Harris has another carry. They just can't make meters at the moment, though, for New Zealand, and it's finding them stuck inside of their own half. Another run from Joseph Manu makes it up to the 30-metre line, but they're going to have to kick this one way downfield once again for the Kiwis. 5 back into the pocket. Now a massive kick downfield. Australia take it nicely with James Tedesco there, though. Now looking to attack the line. See, already in 1 run, James Tedesco made more metres than New Zealand made in their full set, which tells you how the momentum currently is going. New Zealand need to force an error just to have the opportunity to attack inside of the Australian half. Now another run from Nathan Cleary. You know he's playing with confidence when he's willing to hit it up at the line as well. And also, Sonny Bill lives in Oz. Says, I know that it's about this time the bros get tired, just don't have the same fitness as the Aussie, says Smartest Mongoose. And then subscribed, says the wearer there. And also, how long left in the game, mate? Currently 12 minutes left on the clock in this contest. So hopefully the scoreboard, there we go, has now gone up to the 68th minute. Australia inside of the Kiwi half again as IAO. Taken down 30 metres out from the line. And Australia will once again have themselves the option of either kicking or attacking. It looks like Cleary puts up the high ball. Going to be one that the Kiwis have to try and take. Great take there from Peter Hiku. Now New Zealand, it's about what they do with it from here, seeing as they are deep inside of their own half, which has been a repeatable sentence, I guess, in the last little while. Now, Joseph Manu runs it hard at the line, only makes a metre or 2, but Peter Hiku taking that one absolutely beautifully. Kiwis need some forward, or go forward to force some error, says Jason. Exactly right. Need to try and get out of their own half, but it doesn't seem like a line break is coming anytime soon in Australia. They will know that, which is why their discipline has been on point throughout the last little while. Because as soon as they give away that set restart, that is where New Zealand may be able to make those extra metres that they need. Nice run from Asafa Solomona, now 40 metres out from the New Zealand line. It is the final tackle, only making the 27 metres. Jerome Hughes, little chip in behind, looking to chase it himself, but Tedesco able to clean it up now for the Kiwis, or sorry, for the Aussies. 40 metres out from the line. Tedesco gets back up. It looks like Mulitalo getting quite a bit of attention to that knee, getting it well and truly patched up. And also we've got there, this will drop it, or they will drop it from here, says G-Man. And also come on Rapana and Hiku and their chat as well. Another run from Valentine Holmes, one of the try scorers for Australia throughout this match. We have seen 3 so far, which was Adokar, also alongside him, Valentine Holmes, and then the other try was scored by Cameron Murray. Looking off to the right there, then goes left for Ben Hunt. Great ball to Jake Trebojevic. Tackled low and the tackle by Safa Solomona. Now the final one, inside border, James Tedesco. He slips hard, and I believe going to be a little bit of an error on the ground as well from Tedesco, but the handover here smacked his head extremely hard. And now the Kiwis have been told to play the ball. Oh, I mean, they've got to leave Tedesco alone, though. He's concussed, and they're just pushing him around all over the place. But look at this. He smacks his... Oh, he actually takes it on the chin, the original shot as well. Clearly hasn't done too much. Says Annoy there. Yeah, I guess it's one of those ones that when he has a slightly quieter game, Australia also have that same thing, but Munster has been a little bit more prominent in this game. Great get territory, Kiwis, says Commentary Talks. And there's, that's going to be the first set restart for New Zealand in an extremely long time. Now 40 metres out from their own line, looking to get into the half of the Aussies for the first time in a long time. Another offload, quick hands from New Zealand, looking to continue their attack. Papali'i makes his way forward up to 40 metres out from the Kangaroos line. That is only the second tackle as well, HIA for Teddy. Yeah, I assume he had to go off there. He didn't look too flash. He took the big shot on the chin and then smacked his head on the ground in the process as well. Offload so far throughout this game. New Zealand 16, Australia 5. Now Manu, ball in behind. It's going to be a great tackle made by Mitchell. Oh, he does the judo throw as well in the process. And also, I know Teddy's offset, Brendan. Good territory, says Commentary Talk. Now the Kiwis making their way forward a little bit further, finding another offload. That seems to be the one thing that's keeping New Zealand in the game currently. Brown thought about it, wasn't able to find it. Time left currently. Still 8.5 minutes left on the clock at this point of the match. Hughes with the cross kick. Looks like they're going up. Latrell Mitchell, though, goes down, takes it beautifully for the Australians. Latrell UFC Mitchell, says Hanoi, and also Kia Tere Kiwis, says Patrick, and also use the set. Kiwi, says Jason. Yeah, they need to stop Australia from getting out of their own half. Almost taken by, I believe it was Nakora, but Latrell Mitchell, great under the high ball, is able to clean it up. Now sitting 72 minutes through this contest, going off to the side. I think they've said that James Tedesco is still out there on the field, which I find hard to believe after how slow he did get back up to his feet, but he must have been all right to continue. Yeah, he's having a run now, James Tedesco. Now, after the fifth and final, that is the best defensive set I think we've seen from New Zealand in this half, only allowing them to make 25 metres, and now they need to not let that ball bounce for New Zealand. Rapana now going to have to charge at the Australian line. Bump straight through. Here goes Rapana. Ball on the outside. And now down the wing, it's going to be the youngster, Nicole Cloxton, trying to link up but not able to find it. But great run from New Zealand, making about 70 metres. And just the one in the crowd now can sense that New Zealand have got some momentum. Jerome Hughes, ball on the inside, gives it off to Asafa Solomona, who finds the offload to Hughes. Little grabber in behind. And, it might have been a miracle try for Peter Hiku. But I think Adokar might have just done enough. Tesco and Murray, concussion magnets. You have to admit, we do have the best rugby league players in the world, says Jenny. And also, this is pretty much the finals now, says Messi. And also, Redstone says EJ. The question now is, did they get the hand on it before Adokar let that ball go into touch? Anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. That was a miraculous play from the Kiwis, or a miraculous set, we should call it. Right, Chris Kendall going to be going upstairs. He already has actually ruled out one try of Peter Hiku, and no try, says G-Man. And also, as Australia in the lead, they are currently by 2 points, and good as gold is the green and gold, says Hyro. Right, they are checking this one to see if he's behind, which he certainly is. So it is going to be legal just for now. Okay, now they're going to the corner view. So Adokar felt he was going to be able to leave this ball. Oh, that's a tricky one to call here. Might be by half an inch that this one is either in or out. So Adokar goes across. Then that ball is still in the field of play. Still in the field of play. It's got to be in touch. Yes, it's on the touch line. And he's jumped from outside of the field of play as well. And also amazing effort, says EJ. Yeah, close, but no cigar once again for the Kiwis. And also we have got come on the Kiwis, says Murray Legacy Gaming. And also we have got there, I'm half an inch, says Isaac. And that is going to be now a no try. But I believe Did Josh Adokar get a touch on that one? I believe he did, which means now New Zealand will have themselves 10 metres out from the line. They will have another opportunity. Oh, did Adokar touch that one? And how many minutes, bro? Currently 7 minutes left on the clock now. Most entertaining game of the World Cup so far, and probably the closest almost to an extent as well. Wait. So is it Australia who have taken it dead? No, Australia have the ball. So Australia are going to have themselves their restart from 10 metres out from their own line. Big contact there from Kieran Foran. And I feel like that's going to fire up the Kiwis. Peter Hiku has had 2 tries disallowed. Wants to get himself one by the end of the game. Big shot there. Driving Latrell Mitchell backwards. Now off to the left-hand side, Isaiah Yeo. The Kiwis are firing up and the crowd are certainly getting behind them now too. Now, 6 minutes left in the contest. Round the side, a light bit of contact for Murray there. He's already scored the try. And the also there, come on the Kiwis. There's Waka on there now. Jake Travojevic hits it up at the line. That is going to be 5th and final. Now, back across. Nathan Cleary kicks it in behind. New Zealand claim it. Last time it went down there, we saw a brilliant run from Jordan Rapana, who fires it across the field now to Joseph Manu. This game could still go either way at this point of the time. Kiwis fighting, says EJ. And now 5 minutes go, says Bubba. Yeah, so anything can happen in that final few moments. If Australia score now, you would have to say they have themselves the victory. But if they lose, if they concede here, it'll almost be going the way of the Kiwis. But a big run forward from Fisher Harris once again. Hold it, Australia, you got this, says George. Now back across to the left-hand side. Great attack and run from Brown. Move on 45 metres out from the line. 6 minutes, says EJ. Now another run forward. New Zealand, big contact made on Papali'i. That will be 5th and final, 40 metres out from the Australian line. Going dummy run there from Smith. Now back into the pocket. It looks like they're going to be going for the kick eventually for Brown. He flicks it out the back to Jerome Hughes. The Kiwis have to try and stay on side. It's gone high now. Josh Adokar will be back. This is danger for New Zealand because Adokar's got pace and he'll just jog it back up to the line now, trying to break through. Great low tackle made by Brandon Smith. And also, you know the song Dreamer, Nothing But a Dreamer, says Jenny. And also New Zealand paying $7.50. And also goal, says Gareth. Big run from James Tedesco. 4.5 minutes left now in the contest between these two sides. And neither side willing to take the backward step. Now Munster hits it up to the halfway line. Only the 3rd tackle now for Australia. Now off to the left. One more. Nathan Cleary almost able to pierce his way through the gap. Australia making easy meters here. It seems like New Zealand's defence going to have to be on point here. Nice run from Latrell Mitchell. Inside ball to Josh Adokar, who slips down. And now Crichton, missed tackle there from Smith. Pops it up to Isaiah Yeo. Keeping it alive just for now for the Australians. Now 5th and final. Going off to the right. There's a massive gap here. They can run it up the middle. Cleary was close, but he's going to be held up just short of the line. And also, we can see how much longer left, says Riley. 3.5 minutes left now. And 4 minutes left, says Chris. There certainly isn't solid game, lads. And the Kangas in there as well. Right. Joey Manu has been told to wait. Jake Travojevic does not want to allow him to get the extra meter. Now there's a bit of push and shove going on. Going to be a little bit more going on here between the two sides. Joey Manu's trying to play it. Jake Travojevic is saying, no, I had a hair in my mouth, but luckily I managed to get it out. It was quite efficient too. And Cleary greedy, says Hanoi. Although with the amount of space that the Kiwis opened up there, it was worth a crack for Nathan Cleary to try and drive himself over the line. Anyone who is new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button. It is hugely appreciated. We are only 15 away from hitting 19,300. So if you do want to help us out, it is hugely appreciated. We will be back for Samoa versus England when it takes place in a little bit of time, and it is going to be a 3:30 a.m. kickoff. Can New Zealand win? If they win, they will need to make sure that this next defensive set is a lot better because they allowed Australia to make about 80 metres in their last one. 4 tackle restart gives, or 4 reset tackles gives Australia the win. Now James Tedesco running it back at the line. It's a good tackle on him by Nakora, and Peter Hiku able to finish the job. Great commentary, especially with the hair in the mouth, says Listham in there as well. Now Adokar trying to break through the Fox. He's been elusive throughout this matchup, but has only got the 1 try, which is a bit light for Adokar compared that he had 11 tries coming into this match off 4 games. Valentine Holmes Hits it up again, Australia. Like they're saying, they know that they just have to control it and hit it long. If a penalty goes against the Kiwis, then it could end up in a lot of trouble for New Zealand. Nice run from Ben Hunt. And also, how much do you post? We normally have about 10 to 15 live streams per weekend and maybe about 5 videos throughout the week as well. So relatively often. Interesting kick there. It's actually come off the side of the boot. Now it's kicked in behind. That's going to be dead from Valentine Holmes. It's going back to 20 metres out from the Kiwi line. They will have this will be their last attacking set of the day. And also got the Black Fern, says Callum Lister. And we will actually be covering that game on the channel a little bit later on. If scores are level, then says Coding, if the scores were level, we would go to golden point. Offload from New Zealand. I think that's what they've got to keep on doing. Try and keep this ball alive for as long as physically possible. And come on, South Africa, says Chevrolet Gaming. And also we've got their Holmes, a shocker in there as well. Now it is going to be the 0 and hands up or hard up the Black Fern, says Alice Williams. Aotearoa now. New Zealand getting taken down again last set for the Kiwis, or it's home time, says EJ. Like I mentioned, the tickets were already booked before this contest took place. Now going back across, Jerome Hughes. They've got numbers. They're only jogging, though, the Kiwis, which makes me a bit concerned. Maybe not with as much stamina left in the tank as they would like. Last set for the Kiwis as well. And also talking about the game, my bro, says Max King. Now currently 1 minute left on the clock. 40 metres out from the line. New Zealand goes across to Jerome Hughes. The draw and pass, I feel like there's going to be a couple offloads here. No, Brown just sacrifices the tackle. Interesting choice. It's now going to be the last play of the day. Jerome Hughes puts it high, looking for the cross kick. 61 metres gain. It's taken by Latrell Mitchell. And now all Australia need to do is just take 3 or 4. He looks like he's going to be staying down for a bit longer. He's got a sore back. And the crowd are booing him, Latrell Mitchell, but I think he did take quite a big hit there. And also we have got the kick under the post. And also, come on, New Zealand, you got this, says Timo. So yeah, Jerome Hughes, he went for the kick. It was a contestable one almost, but Jerome, he takes it. Then says that he got hit in the back of the neck, which I feel like he's got a fair argument. Asafa Solomona did get him pretty good. And there, that's game, says EJ. Yeah, unless the Kiwis can get this ball in the next 18 seconds, they will be going home at the semi-finals, and Australia will be able to make their way through. Latrell Mitchell hits it up to the line. There is one more play in this contest. Current score 14 points to 16. Has to play the ball. Stays on his knee. And that will be the game. My voice is just about to go. But that is the matchup. Australia end up winning it 16 points to 14 in the end. New Zealand gutted, but Australia, they have booked themselves a spot in the final to take on the winner of England versus Samoa. It's going to be an awesome matchup when it takes place. So the Black Ferns got in the final. They are going to be playing up against England. We will be covering that one on the channel as well. But that is the game, ladies and gentlemen. New Zealand narrowly missing out, but Australia able to hang on in a hard-fought contest. The 2 points difference between the two sides. Thank you. Good job, my bro. Says smartest mongoose in there. Thank you very much, mate. Yeah, anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. How much time left, brother? Full time has just sounded. And that is the end of the game. Australia going through. Thanks, bro. Best commentary in the country. Actually, I amend that statement to read best commentary in the world. Says Patrick there. Hugely appreciate it too. My voice is gone almost. I feel like luckily there weren't 5 minutes extra. If we had golden point, I think my voice would have been completely gone by the end. But now we've got to make sure we hydrate and we get ready for about 3 or 4 more live streams later on tonight, including Samoa versus England. That is going to be an awesome contest, and we will be covering that one on the Kiwi Lads channel. Also, England-Australia final again, and also it was a good game. Why is the Aussie ref doing this game, says David. This is a good question. I assume that it was down to the fact that they already had the referees appointed before the matches took place, although, yeah, it's an interesting one. But at the end of the day, I think the referee had a pretty solid game throughout this one. I don't think we can blame the ref for New Zealand not being able to get a victory there. At the end of the day, they had their chances. They had 2 disallowed tries in the matchup as well, but close but no cigar for the Kiwis. And cheers for the call, mate. And you should have run it, says Jacob there. And cheers, bro, listening from Canada up the roos, says Dan there. And also at the end of the day, we're all rugby league brothers and sisters. Good job on the commentary, says JA. And cheers, Hamish, great stream, bro, says Tyrone there. And cheers, brother, says Jason. And there as well. But yeah, I do think we're very much for tuning in. Like I mentioned, if you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is hugely appreciated. All of you guys being here for these live streams. And we have got another one a little bit later on today. It is going to be the Black Ferns taking on England. And then also alongside that, we've got the game in the middle of the night, England versus Samoa for the other side of the Rugby League World Cup draw. It's the other semi-final. And then after that, we have got a matchup taking place between Wales and Argentina. And then following that, South Africa taking on France. So those are some big matches coming up later on tonight. And nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. Like I mentioned, if you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you all for the next one.